I know there's a few more people on their way.
Gabe's coming in.
After dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Cuddle.
So there'll be a few more people, which is awesome.
Is my screen frozen on?
It's not now.
No.
I can see the 0.5 second delay. Waved to myself. Oh, that's weird. Who I stream. I see myself all the time on stream.
Okay.
Like that super sweet FTL sub-second latency. Gotta love it.
I'm going to send out a tweet, and I've set a title to get to know. I wrote "Get to know you," get to know your Aussie and New Zealand mixer creators. Is that an accurate representation of what we're doing here today?
Oh yeah, something along those lines.
How'd you get one name, Tan?
What?
I tried putting in just one Whippy XD and it wouldn't do it, so I had to put Whippy XD Gaming.
Oh, what? Just ask me one name and then we'll double 10. Bam. What? I'm just.
Bam.
I'm just.
I mean,
I'm up there. You're here. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Okay, then.
Much love. He knows it.
That's how it is. You should be able to set those names to whatever you want it. That's just your.
You should be able to.
Oh yeah, you can probably set nicknames or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you have to make an account with a password? Because I didn't do that.
Oh, maybe you don't.
You might be doing a thing. So yeah, if you make an account, you'll have to have a name.
Because I couldn't even see where it making.
Because that's why mine's Whippy XD Gaming. Because I just tried putting Whippy XD with no last name and it didn't work.
Yeah, it would want a name if you make an account, which there's benefits to a thing, but like obviously this isn't the account I speak to my parents on. This is an account I made just
dog. Thanks so much for the follow. Sorry, Shock.
Because like my great grandma's got a iPad, and because she's in the nursing home, none of us can go and see her at the moment. So I sent her a message and I said, "I'll FaceTime you soon. Just click the green phone when it comes up." And she picked up the iPad and had it next to her ear. I'm like, no, put it in front of you. And she's like, I won't be able to hear you. I said, you will. And she's holding the iPad here. She just had no idea.
Doesn't get the idea of a video call.
Like she's doing it right for 93, but still.
That's something. I know a couple of weeks ago, I set up a big video call with a bunch of my uncles and aunties and stuff that live in Brisbane and one that lives in Scotland and my grandma who's in a retirement village, but again, we can't go and see her.
Yeah.
But out of all the people who have issues, my grandma had the least amount of issues. Because her webcam was already there, it was literally just click this button when it comes on. The rest all had to set up webcams and they didn't have the email addresses all for them. And in fact, I think my dad was actually able to remote desktop into her laptop so he could do it all for her. And when it was like time to end the call, it was like, cool, just close the laptop and it will shut down. It's fine.
We've got probably about 6 or 7 different family members across the board between mine and my husband's side. And we've set up like team viewer widgets, I guess, on their PCs so that we can remote in as needed. But what we've done is we renamed them all Help Me. So they know that if they need help, they just double click to Help Me and then it loads them into TeamViewer and it logs them in. And then we can just like boot up the PC just to try and streamline this for them. I feel so it's such an interesting space. I did some work with a local council here in my city, and there's a lot of programs help those that aren't quite as tech savvy be a bit more comfortable with tech. It's really cool.
That's like my old next door neighbor, like the old elderly couple. And I was telling her that my great grandma had an iPad, and she's like, "What does she do on that?" And I said, "Oh, she does all the puzzles and stuff on it because she likes to do jigsaw puzzles and all that. And who wants to throw a jigsaw puzzle out on the table anymore?" And she's like, "Oh, that's a good idea." And instead of buying just an iPad or a Samsung tablet or something, she went and bought a Surface Pro. I'm like, "Oh, this is going to get you in trouble." And the mouse on the little keyboard came with it, with like a case. and it wouldn't connect, and she was like freaking out, thought she'd already broken it within like a week or something. Oh. No, just press this button and then flick the switch on so it's actually working.
Poor thing. It's hard. I feel like my generation, I guess, like I'm 31. I feel like it was just at the right time in terms of technology where PCs were just starting to become a part of the everyday, but I'd still kind of grown up largely without the tech side. So I still had a very, active lifestyle. I did gymnastics and things like that. And then as technology started to integrate, I evolved with it over time. Whereas I'm seeing 3-year-olds with iPads, and like we go out to cafes and things like that, and there are literally 3-year-olds with their own iPads or phones with SIM cards so they can play. And I'm just like, it's just
no.
I don't want to sound old because I don't feel like I'm ready to feel old yet, but the world's changing.
You're not
so
the oldest
much,
one here.
Hey,
you're older than me by like 9 weeks.
I'm older than her.
Yeah, by 9 weeks. Come on. No, not 9 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
And I think Tan's like a week older than I am, so that's
a week. Yeah.
Just a 1 week.
Just 1 week.
Just 1 week.
Well, what you're talking about, them playing on iPads and stuff. Like, I was only talking to Mum about this other week, and my sister actually. Like, we used to have to get dragged in at night time. Like, the rule was once the street lights came on, we had to go inside, sort of thing.
That's it.
And like I said,
you guys had street lights? What?
Yeah, but I said, like, we used to coat hang each other off the bikes and throw each other off the trampoline and all that stupid shit that you used to do, like run around the backyard, flogging each other with
light mothers listening, that none of that actually happened. There was no violence. And
we don't condone violence of children.
Definitely did not throw her through the springs of a trampoline, but
oh no,
my sister fell. Well, no, actually, she didn't fall. She jumped from our roof to the trampoline when she was younger, and her lip got caught in the spring, and it like ripped her bottom lip open. She didn't do that again.
Oh no! I remember when I started doing front flips from the trampoline, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try a backflip now, and I tucked up way too much. My kneecap ended up smashing my eye.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm laying on the trampoline, and I can't remember how old I was. I was in tears though. And my sister's like, "You'll be fine," and walked off. And my mum walked in. She's like, "What happened?" And I told her, and she's like, "Uh-oh, go to the ice." And the next day, I had the biggest black eye.
Yeah, nice.
I'm all right, Mum. I'm
kids.
Yeah,
I've got a scar here that I probably shouldn't show it on stream. Too much.
Nip slip.
It's there was one of them today, but that's not altogether.
I saw that.
Yeah, and no surprises too, but that's another match altogether.
Yep.
But just on my pectoral muscle there, playing footy, paddock across the road from my house, a little bit slippery around because of a bit dewy or rain the previous day or something like that. Just roughhousing with 16-year-olds roughhousing, playing some footy and whatnot. Brother goes up, gives you a nice solid bump straight into a fence. Go, yep, cool, bounce off it, yep, cool. Walk away and go, oh, winded. Sort of look down, nice gash of just chunk of skin completely ripped off from there. 0 drops of blood. Sort of look back going, how did that happen? Look back and there's like a nail sticking out of the fence. I'm like, okay.
Is that?
No blood. No blood means keep playing. I think. Pretty sure that's how that works.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
Oh, that's just how it is.
So I don't think I ever got ripped out. Like, we used to play footy and stuff all the time, and I had a concussion one day, but that was probably the worst.
Thinking back, doing gymnastics for 7 years, dancing before that, netball before that, I've actually never had any major injuries. The worst injury I ever had was a gymnastics beam fell on my foot and it crushed 3 of my toes because
what?
Yeah, that was super fun. But that was it. It was only 3 broken toes. I was pretty much fine. I just was really stubborn and wouldn't use the crutches. So they don't set, they don't have casts for toes. So you just kind of have to hope for the best that they set in a fairly natural state, and mine kind of mostly did, but kind of didn't because I kept walking on them. So they're a little bit weird now. It's not too bad. But I'm pretty fortunate, like just looking back at the shit that I would do in gymnastics, because when you're a kid, you just have no perception of the ramifications of if things go wrong. Like if you land on your head, you don't think about that stuff. You're just like, whatevs. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, me and my sister used to slide downstairs in cardboard boxes, just straight down. It was great. But then
now you sit up there and do it now. It's like, nope.
Nope.
Like, I could hit my head at least 30 times before I hit the ground. Yeah.
So my 2 nieces do dance and cheerleading stuff. So, you know, in their groups and stuff, and then they're the ones who've been thrown up in the air and whatnot. And it's just like, yep, cool. Not for the faint-hearted. And yeah, it doesn't take much for one of them to go wrong. And things go south real quickly.
It's like when I was 3, I broke the bone, like snapped it clean in half, like the thigh bone and my right leg. And no one knows how I did it. To this day, no one knows how I did it. Mum reckons I was jumping on the bed, and she went to give me money, and I ran into the room and slid. But I had to cast the whole out my right leg up to my belly button and halfway down my left leg. And the doctor told Mum to go buy me a skateboard because I would have just sat on the skateboard and scooted around the house sort of thing. Mum reckoned within a week and a half, I'd learned how to run in this cast, and also kind of running around the house just doing these.
You know what? I'm a fan of that. And the worst thing is, once you recovered, you got on the skateboard and hurt yourself again.
Well, that's funny. She had it in a box, and I found it years and years and years later. Like, I think I was 14 when I found it. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I went to ride it and nearly fell. I was like, nope. Put it back in the box.
You know what? Not for me.
I'm just dropping a quick tweet. I'll tag each of you. So I found Chalk and Lil Devil. Whippy, are you Whippy, not Poopy? Is that a different Whippy?
What?
There's someone that I'm following
Twitter handle
that starts with him.
BXT.
All right. So are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
If so, just type your tag in chat. Did we sort out the audio issues, BT Dubs? Are we good now?
I'm still hearing echoes, but I kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah, just let it go. I keep losing my chair.
Are you typing your tag, Whippy?
I just followed you.
Okay. And just a really quick welcome. Hey, everyone. I'm Georgie, hanging out with Chalk, Lil Devtan, Whippy, and we've got a few more joining. This is my first web show on my stream, so that's what you're watching today. We're getting to know some of the Aussie and New Zealand Mixer creators, and we've got a few more joining us a little bit later. And then a bit later this evening, I'll be playing Apex Legends as normal. So, yeah, feel free to hang out, ask any questions you've got. I'll relay them through to Zoom. But yeah, thanks.
Is it bad? I just realised for some reason my Twitter was not following Mixer DownUnder.
So we need 9 people so we can do a Brady Bunch thing.
Oh, don't worry. I just got the notification about it.
I clicked on because I've got it in my profile just saying.
Mum, are you coming in?
Mixer DownUnder. Then it got like the Twitter tagged, and then I clicked on it. I was like, why is this not following this? Not good enough.
See, someone's asking about.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the poster before, but I thought probably you shouldn't if someone's streaming.
That's fine. The poster's fine. It's a signed poster from Sasha Banks. I've got it signed from when she was down here.
You're such a dude.
And? Sorry, I'm such a dude that is also intercontinental champion of the world.
I'll ask for you, Guru. Are you answering Guru's question, Chalk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It's the Intercontinental Championship. It's the replica belts that sell for a lot more money than I probably should have spent on it, but it's about $300.
Wow.
What?
Like it's heavy. Like it's Like, doing that made my mic
You got
bounce.
one out.
So
Impressive.
it's solid. Like it's leather, metal all over.
Thanks,
Like it's
Whippy.
not plastic.
Oh, you went to an event? Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Load up your chat just to see Goob saying Whippy is poopy. Prick.
I was like, who is it? Oh, there's Goobs.
Easier.
Hey, Goobs.
Here we are.
Screw you, Whippy, entirely, buddy.
What is on your lip?
What? What's on my lip? It's got an ISO mustache, bud.
That's disgusting.
It is. It is absolutely terrible.
Filth.
So good. Yay, Missy's going to join us. Whoop. Missy, hi. About damn time. Also, Missy, I was going to message you before because I'm like sitting here with Chalk doing more audio stuff and I'm like, damn, I'm tired. Because Missy and I streamed it till like 2 a.m. And then Missy got up early and didn't anymore. What'd you fix? Did you have a stream open?
I had Tan's sound up so I could hear my voice back through her stream.
Right.
Oh,
Wow.
that's what it was doing.
Wow. Pro streamer. Pro streamer here.
Well done.
Oh, it is the father
Thanks,
stash.
Newton.
What?
What's
It's a
a
what?
What's a
Someone in,
father stash?
Did you see the GIF?
Yeah.
Okay, you know, in Father out of Super Troopers.
Guru says it's a soup strainer.
That too.
It's so gross.
A
Take it
what?
out.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Google it. Don't Google it.
I'm not gonna Google that either. That's yeah.
Oh man.
There's
We can't go
children
there.
here.
My chair.
I
Yeah,
feel like we need.
Don't know which one's a child because everyone's screens are different of where they are, so I'm just going to point all directions.
Put your hand out like this.
I feel like I'm doing like the there's music. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Grease Lightning.
Fever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
fever.
it.
We just need 4
Oh,
people
you're
with
right.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah. We're gonna wait for it. Actually, I did. So one time on the Zoom call with my family, I actually did that because there was quite a few of them. So I'm like, going, oh, okay. And I started playing the Brady Bunch soundtrack in the background. So that's
great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus,
This guy likes me.
That is some poor framing there.
Oh, I reckon that's all
I
right.
keep losing my chair too. It's doing
Oh,
that.
don't worry about this. What about this chick?
No, wait, there's
That's
the
slightly
one.
disturbing.
There's one that my brother used during a school one. Do you know? I don't know if you know the meme, but like the guy standing behind the chick sitting on the couch. I don't know if any. Okay, it's, yeah, but it's
maybe.
fucking hilarious.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll have very different opinions of hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's saying you
so.
suck.
Oh, classic. Are we all gamers here?
I mean, what are video games?
Chalk's friend.
That's my twin.
Oh yeah, actual twin.
No, that's the video of me from earlier.
Oh, what the hell? I was like, is that a person? That was I just got bamboozled.
Motherfucker.
So I did that to my family, and they all sort of at the moment were sort of quiet. They're like, going, oh, and they sort of didn't recognize who it was in the background because I sort of could tell it wasn't my housemates, and they're like, oh, and then they sort of saw me turn around and look at the camera, and like going, oh, and then they realized what I had done.
Yeah, Llama, are you coming in?
Except for my mother, who I'm pretty sure is still convinced it's magic because she doesn't understand how green screen works.
Let's see what it looks like with my light purple with the camera.
Chalk, how did you go with your lights? I didn't get to ask you about that.
Haven't played
Taylor's
around
fun.
with them yet. I will probably do it early this week, but I might finish up this YouTube video tomorrow. Because if I don't do it tomorrow, I'm probably gonna be like, I'll do it next day. I'll do it the next day. I'll do it 84 years later.
I'm definitely keen to try the nebula. I think that could be, if it doesn't dilute from what it looks like in photos with a ring light, that could be a lot of fun on a stream for streamers.
Oh, yeah.
What's the nebula?
So I'll send a link.
We're talking with Georgie, some Mixer DownUnder people. This is Georgie with the pink in the pink. Hang on, this side? No, this side.
No,
that side's Georgie.
Everyone's is different.
Yep. Down there's Chalk, and that's
We've got
Gibby.
names. The names are on the cameras.
And I'm Devil.
Shit, I just noticed that. Sure.
And we're high five.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Actually, do we have the right mix? Is it 3 girls, 2 or 2?
I can
girls,
be whatever you want me to be.
I identify as a
in that
toasty.
case. I identify as someone a lot more talented than I really am.
Okay.
Nebula.
Sure.
Okay.
Not an agree.
Oh, I mean, don't all rush to my defense there.
We love you, Chalk. We
Off
love
crowd.
you, Chalk. Thank you for the boldness. I appreciate that.
Where is? Sorry, line.
These are Australian communities, New Zealand. Gibby, are you in Australia or New Zealand?
Really? Did you really have to ask that?
Yeah.
I'm in Australia.
Not
Australian.
Gibby.
Hang
I'm
on.
sorry, Georgie.
There's a
Georgie.
simple test.
I know Gibby is. Hang on.
Say
Georgie.
fishing.
Oh.
I'm full Aussie.
You're full Aussie, yeah. Okay.
Oh, you said Jordan.
I did say Gibby. Sorry. I don't know if I said Gibby or Georgie.
Too many G's.
Sorry.
I dropped a link in chat. Oh, you can't click.
Yeah, you can. I did.
In Zoom.
Yeah, that's Gibby.
Yeah, worked for me.
Give
I
yourself.
just clicked it.
Huh. Doesn't work for
Where's
me.
this chat?
Anyway.
A-Dog just said, oh, wow, that's Gibby.
Oh, that's chat.
Oh, that's sick.
Pick up. Thanks for the host.
Yeah, it's
I
like
can't
50
click it.
bucks. Yeah, I couldn't click it either. It's like 50 bucks USD. And I had a community member who's also my new designer. He owns one. But he turned it on because I didn't believe the images. I was like, surely this is like, heavily edited. So it looks like it pops a lot more. And so he then went and turned his on and sent me a photo from his phone of his room. And it is banging. I'll actually get you a follow-up link.
That actually looks awesome.
Yeah, I just feel like if it works well, I will get one at some point. And if it works well on stream, it could be a really good, cheap lighting resource for those just getting started. Like, I'm just using 2 RGBs at the moment. They were 25 bucks each on eBay.
Yeah, well, that's what I've got underneath my desk. I've got a RGB, like 2 meter, I think, RGB strip light. But I'm going to end up running them around the ceiling and everything.
Yeah.
And lighting the room up. But
Chalk's
that's
going to
awesome. I actually
experiment
like
with
that.
Hue. Yeah, I'm keen to give it a whirl. Chalk, I think you're going to experiment with LifeX and Hue.
Yeah, so I'm going to be experimenting with the Hue. I do have one that I'm going to try out as well. It's just this basic with just with this. But the idea is to experiment with the Hue.
Twinsies.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same
I've got
as it's
some of them as
literally
well.
they're all created by the same person, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stickers.
Paper. What the hell, dude?
That works. That looks pretty similar.
You didn't
I
want
just
to be
got-
left out.
I just have random
But-
shit on my desk, not gonna lie. So
I'm going to experiment with Philips Hue and LifeX.
Hey guys.
Because my housemate's got a couple
Hey.
of LifeX ones.
Yeah.
Hey, Katari.
going on?
We're chatting. There's still a few more people on their way, which is amazing.
Is the LifeX is the one from JB Hi-Fi? Or you can get it at JB Hi-Fi, hey?
You can get a JB Hi-Fi, you can get it at Officeworks. It's just a competing brand. But I think the LifeX ones you don't need to have like the bridge for.
Yeah.
You do
But
think if
I
you want to
think-
strip it,
I
I'm
think,
pretty sure.
yeah. But because my housemate's got it he's got some on the app that it doesn't need it. But I think to do a lot of the advanced stuff, it's a lot more complicated with the LifeX. Where I know the Philips Hue stuff's already been done before, because I want to be able to get to the point where the mixed play board can control the lighting in the background. I think
Yeah,
that's
well,
really
I watched a drummer on another streaming platform, and
You
he
mentioned other
had
streaming platforms. It's okay, unless it's like Pornhub in this case.
well, he had
Not banned words.
he went to Sydney.
Swearing.
He's in Sydney and he's a drummer, and he set up all his electric
Oh, you
drums,
can't mention
pulled
Sydney,
it all
though.
apart,
Whoa.
and he's put LED strip lights and everything all in his drums, and you can actually change the lights and everything while he's drumming, and set up strobe lights
Yeah.
and stuff while he's drumming.
Yeah,
Thing is, Lucifer.
I think that's a really neat sort of functionality. And a lot of those kind of things I want to sort of experiment with because, there's some really cool things you can do with stuff like Mixplay that people just don't know that it's possible. I love it.
I've got a magic chair.
You've got a magic
So
chair.
magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeps disappearing.
Disappearing. I know, right?
I feel like I got totally stitched up by this fantasy. Now I didn't buy it for the lights. I got it I was out. I needed a chair desperately, and it's a long story. But it's got like LED lights all the way around it. Like here.
Chair.
Yeah, and
That's
here.
cool.
That's cool.
You cannot see it. Like I'll show you. You need a little bit awkward. You need a battery pack, and it sits underneath the chair. It's so awkward to set up. And you honestly God cannot see the lights. It's so funny. I'm like, why did you guys even do this? Less than, but
Pretty sure they did it just to mess with you.
they're on. Yeah, I
They're
guess
on.
you can see them a little bit. Yeah.
Are they
What
pink?
color are they?
Are they? That's what I said. Are they pink? Because
It's
kind of
purple.
blending in. Oh,
No,
okay.
it's purple. Same color as my lights.
That makes sense. Yeah.
See, I'd love to run Philips Hue, but it's so expensive.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to hear how you go with that talk because just feedback online is that they're very dull. So if you're wanting to pop like something like this, they're not going to deliver that. Whereas Kit, like I think you had them under your
Yeah.
desk,
Did they-
right? As a bit of a vibe
Yeah.
kind of thing, not a primary color.
You know, well, I'm not running any primary color stuff yet. Like I've got it underneath my desk and it just flicks through the lights at the moment. And I've replaced my ceiling light with just one that I can change the colors on too if I want to, but it's really dull. So I couldn't even turn I've got to put it on standard light to be able to stream or you can't see me.
Yeah, fair enough. There is a Philips Hue light bar, which that looks more impressive. Have you guys seen that one?
Is that like the little thick one?
Jeff, bye, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's meant to go like behind TVs and stuff, and it lights up the wall behind a TV or something like that, or behind a speaker.
Tech Block had one on there a while back. A YouTuber I watch.
And that's the kind of thing where, they're pretty, like, they're not cheap. They're like $219.
Oh, wow,
or
I'm being
between that or
raided right
something.
now. Hi everyone, thanks for the raid. Wowza, that's a lot of you guys. Oh my god.
Oh, it's Diva. Video Game Diva, Jay Porter. Ah.
I haven't been raided like this before. What? Guys.
Hey, video game diva.
Hey guys, behave yourself. There's a crowd.
Yeah.
Guys, quick, put your pants on.
Wait, we're meant to wear
Wait,
pants?
what?
Yeah,
Wait,
pants.
what?
Didn't you get the memo?
Communicating.
Guys, we're supposed to be wearing pants.
I knew there was something I forgot.
Or
Cameras, lights, microphone, pants.
I didn't get the memo.
Welcome to the stream. I am Georgie here with some amazing Aussie and New Zealand Mixer creators. We've got Little Dev, Whippy, Chalk, Goobs, and Kit. With quite a few more joining us, so we're just getting together, chatting about what life's like in ISO, all things streamer related. So if you have any questions, throw them in chat and I'll relay them to everyone. But welcome and
What's
thanks so much to the
ISO?
host for the best.
Isolation.
shut up, Whippy.
I
Isolation.
still gotta go to
God.
work. It sucks.
Oh, imagine being essential. Oh my god.
Oh, the votes are in.
Bit of a
Pants
salty
off.
there.
Pants
Votes
off
are in,
has been
pants
the vote
off.
by chat.
Pants are funny.
Okay.
Say no more.
Well, I've come prepared.
Okay, Whippy, you go first.
And thank you so much for all the follows. You guys are amazing. I'll be streaming Apex a little bit later, so hopefully some of you are gamers.
Do you think there's any gamers on this whole website? I'm not too sure.
No, just watches. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I have to clarify. It's no pants just for the guys, not the gals. My bad.
Right.
I've already got another.
Oh,
I'm
that's
wearing
why I
bloody
didn't
pajama
get it.
pants. Already
That's
have
why I
enough
did that.
ventilation. Jesus.
Yeah. I got my pajama pants on.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Everyone.
It's already fucking free down there.
Big. TMI.
Yeah, if you have any questions for Mixer content creators, hit them up in chat. I'll relay them for you. Thanks, Video
Free?
Game Diva.
She's amazing.
Hit fire round. What's your favorite pop behind you?
Oh gosh.
That's
Adventure Time.
Shit, I just noticed that. What the
This
Just
one.
all of them,
This whole
yeah.
one.
So good.
Can I have a whole bookshelf? Or do I have to just pick one?
Just one.
Yeah.
Gotta make it
No.
difficult. No,
This is the
just
best
no.
one in existence.
What is it? Mickey
Can't.
Mouse.
I don't have Mickey Mouse.
I don't think I can get mine. I don't feel like getting up.
All
Especially
right, we'll
following
have
Yeah,
a pop
especially
battle.
since you don't have pants on.
Yeah, that's right.
Aw, thanks, JP. That's so nice
I
of
reckon
you.
you should definitely stick their studies on.
What?
I
Must
didn't
be nice
see
Speedy?
the
being able to
double
pick up all
rate.
your
Yeah,
books
bye.
in one hand.
With that mustache too.
Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to check you guys check you
Rebecca.
guys out. Let me
That's
follow you
awesome.
guys. I'm just wondering. Can we play?
Llama! It's
Oh,
my
oh.
llama.
Got new faces.
Gosh.
Molten llama.
Molten llama.
Hello. See, Chalk, he's
No-
giving
no-
you a run for your money with the whole beard thing.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, but at least mine's got some colour to
No,
it.
I think I'm actually winning this battle.
With the
Is it
suit
llama?
strainer.
That's Molten llama. He's in the chat.
Look, there's one way I'd put it, Georgie, but I don't think it's appropriate. So,
Okay.
I mean, where are he? Not. I mean, probably actually. Let's not get anyone banned.
Let's do more.
it's already happened to me once. I don't need it the second time.
Okay.
What did you do?
So we have a request from chat from Jay Porter, who's one of our raiders this evening, who is from Boston and would like us to say, can you park the car in the Harvard yard? Because they want to compare accents with themselves. How did we do?
I actually do think
Park.
we have a similar annotation with our words to people from Boston.
Really?
Boston.
Now that I think
Yeah.
about it, yeah.
Like the way they
Actually,
say,
now that I
they
think
don't
about
say
The
their
car.
R's properly. Yeah, yeah.
Can you park the car in? What is
The
it?
Harv in the
Can you
hang on.
park the car
Harvard
in Harvard
yard.
yard?
In
The Harvard yard.
Can you park the car in the Harvard yard?
I think it's the R's. They kind of cut their
You
R's off.
park
and
the
use that a
car
lot
in
too.
the Harvard yard.
All right, how about we just say it like normal people, guys?
Sound like
The
some,
meeting point.
sound
You're
like some
assuming
qualified bogan.
Yeah, mate. Gonna go park the
Park
ute in
the
the
car
Harvard
in the
yard,
Harvard
mate.
yard.
Yeah, mate. It's
Hey, what are you doing? Park the car in the Harvard yard, huh?
Yeah,
Doing
Miss
New
Z,
York.
get it here. Miss Z, hurry up.
Yeah.
I will never ever forget my very first time getting to the United States, and I get off a plane and we start hearing all the beautiful American accents for the first time. We're at LAX and it was wonderful, and all of a sudden I just hear this Aussie go, "Oh shit, mate, that just broke me song," and I was like, "Oh god."
Look, I didn't
Seriously
escape it
sound like
just
this?
yet.
I'll never
And I
ever
was like,
forget.
That's it. I'm done, Australia.
damn it, man.
I'm done.
I'll never forget when because I used to install stone bench tops, and I did it for this lady. She'd only just moved to Australia, so she'd been here for like 3 weeks or something. And she was from England. It was an older lady. And I walked in and I said, "Oh, how you going?" And she looked at me and she goes, "What did you just say?" I said,
What
"How
did you
you
just
going?"
say to me, young man?
And she's like, "I've never heard someone say that." I said, "If you're living in Australia now, you can hear it all the time."
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing, guys?
There you go.
Hey.
How are
Puppies
you?
in.
Hey. Fucking all right.
Puppies,
eh?
is it?
Remember when I went to the UK, and for the first day and a half, pretty much of traveling, like it was like 36 hours of traveling to get there. By the time I got there, it was late at night. Checked in the hotel at like 9 o'clock, and then started my actual holiday the next morning. And because I was traveling by myself, so I was solo until the Kentucky tour started. Anyways, that morning, I had said maybe a half a dozen to a dozen words in the previous 36 hours, because it may have been to the customs person, "How long are you here for?" 3 weeks. That was about the extent of my conversations. Anyways, going to one of the first tourist locations, waiting at a pedestrian crossing. And yep, cool, waiting thing. And up comes a couple girls must be heading off to school or something, and all of a sudden heard the British accent and gone, oh, that's right. That's where I am. Nearly didn't realize that. It's like, yep, pretty much gave me a nice giggle. I think someone needs a ban in your chat there, Georgie.
I'm just trying to. No, I tried to tag everyone in chat. Can y'all
You just
do
asked
me a
if I'm
favor?
a New Zealander. I'm not New
You,
Zealander.
bro. You, bro.
I
Hey,
feel like
Whippy,
I'm
you're from New Zealand, fella.
I feel like I'm false advertising. I
don't
promised
people
the
like
people
you?
some New Zealanders, and everyone's like, "Where's the New Zealanders?
Yeah,
You're all
well, stop.
Aussie," and I'm like,
I'm actually
mean,
not from New Zealand, but I can pull it off a little bit.
That's pretty good.
That's some fish and
Don't get
chips.
the Jolly
Fish
Bundle.
and chops. Hey, Whip.
There's some fish and chips.
if y'all can help me out with your tags in chat, I got told that I couldn't type that many tags in one message, so I've put
Naughty,
my
naughty.
In your own
stream
chat?
in. I know. I was like, don't tell me how to
There
live
are
my life.
rules.
This is my chat. If you just quickly boot up my stream for those on Zoom, drop your tags in chat because everyone would like to follow y'all. Help me
No,
out.
they wouldn't. It's a trap. Don't fucking do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, don't
It's a
follow
trap.
me either. You're gonna get subpar
Clickbait.
content.
Clickbait.
Follow Ubisoft just so you
do
can
not
unfollow
follow
them.
me. Yeah, actually do that.
me.
That sounds like a good idea. Follow me and then unfollow me so I get a false sense of hope.
Why?
Oh.
Too late
Oh my
followed.
God.
Knock down.
I've got some
Okay.
new faces
Yeah.
in here who I haven't met yet. So Molten, hello. Puppies, hello. I'm Georgie.
Hello.
Hiya.
Nice to meet you.
Myself.
I know you. I've been
Thank you,
working
guys.
hard.
Oh,
I work pretty hard.
Oh.
I'm a hard worker.
There's
Yeah.
people
I'm
on the
around.
internet that just sit and watch streamers.
No way.
Yeah, I know, right? And like doesn't
Things
say
like
anything in
that.
chat unless it's totally
What?
smart ass.
Right.
Hard workers.
Oh my god.
feel-
Hard workers. Look. Good.
Feel now's a good
Miss Z is
time. Let's
connecting.
Here's
go
trouble.
in the room.
Oh,
Oh, no.
fucking Christ.
Oh, here
Let's-
we go.
It's trouble.
We'll go around the
Thank you,
room.
guys.
Introduce yourself. How long you've been around Mixer, and
Oh, God.
I don't know, something else, maybe a random fact about yourself or why you enjoy being on Mixer.
I'll let them random fact. I'm gonna go with that one.
Let's start. I'm going to go with my screen. It's Devil Town over there. That way I
Come
can.
over there. What are you talking about? Peter.
It's different for
Front
everybody.
screen's different.
It is everybody's
Yeah.
different.
Over there.
I'm just confusing you. I'm Lil Deltan, and I've been on Mixer since September 2017. Partnered since May 2018, and I just love being on Mixer. This is my home, and I love the community that we built. So yeah, it's fantastic. That's me,
Amazing.
and I'm a variety
uh,
streamer.
Variety streamer.
Mhm.
Georgie, you're
Fams,
Backstage.
I'm Georgie. I've been streaming on Mixer for 6 months. It's recently been my 6-month anniversary. That's really exciting. And about a month ago, I was introduced to the wonderful Mixer DownUnder Community, who has brought us all together today. Chalk can give you a bit of insight into who MDU is. And I met this amazing group of people through Miss C. You'll also meet her in a few minutes. I primarily stream Apex Legends, and by primarily, I basically religiously play Apex Legends at the moment with a little bit of COD, but I just love Apex. And it's been the most wonderful experience for me to have joined Mixer because it's such a true sense of community and family, and that really resonates. It's something that if you talk to anyone that's streamed on Mixer, they're all going to tell you the same thing. It's the same thing that we all love, is just how open and supportive and welcoming everyone is on this platform. I have done a little bit of streaming on Twitch, and it was not unwelcoming, but it was just a totally different vibe. So Mixer's become my home, and it's been an incredible journey, and just love creating content that people seem to enjoy. And that's pretty much.
Whippy, you're up.
On Whippy.
Good stuff.
Good start.
Good start.
I was gonna say something real. I was gonna say something
Good
real
afternoon,
stupid, but I thought I better
Whippy.
So and that's
Long
Hi,
walk
you
home.
were
bros.
going to say something really stupid, and that's what you ended up with.
Yay!
not. Nah, I was gonna be like, Whippy, big clean. Been on Mixer for probably just over a year. I've probably been streaming on here for like 9 or 10 months. I normally play anything apart from COD on stream because I rage a shit ton in COD.
Content.
Yeah, that's right. I can't think of anything else.
What do you play?
Not much at the moment because I'm working heaps. I'm about to start playing the Vigil, however you say it.
What?
But I normally
Wait, what?
Vigor, whatever. It's a
Valorant?
no.
Spell it.
It's Bohemian Interactive made it. It's like
Vigor.
That's good.
Vigor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Vigor.
Oh, Vigor.
okay.
I'm gonna dive into that, start playing that,
That's a
and
good game.
but I played normally anything. I like my racing games, like COD. Not a massive fan of Fortnite. I haven't really dived much into Apex, all that sort of shit. Yeah. Hello.
Gooby.
All right. Hi. Obviously, I'm Gooby. I've been on Mixer since. Shit, that's a good question. I think October 2017. I haven't streamed much, but I've mostly been around as either a community member or moderator for a bunch of other like streamers, partners, the occasional staff member. And well, I got a fun fact. My first concert was 11 years old, and it was One Direction. There you go.
I hope it got
Proud
better.
I love it. I love that
like
you
it.
felt like
Adam,
this is a
I'm proud
safe
that he
space.
actually came out with that.
Yeah, I'm glad that we've created a safe space for you to admit that with us.
I tell everyone that's kind of funny. I just find it good.
Did you
It's a nice
enjoy it?
icebreaker. Look, I would have enjoyed it if it wasn't just entirely the entire time of just teenage girls, but yeah, it was all right.
Nice.
All right. Katari.
All right. I'm Kit. I am a baby to Mixer. I've been around for about 8 weeks. I originally was streaming on Twitch last year, and I actually just came over here out of curiosity. I wasn't intending to stay, but I got sucked into a stream which had a really amazing community, so haven't been able to pull myself away. Had my first stream last week. So yeah, here to stay now. Probably can't get rid of me.
Welcome to Mixer.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Thank
We're
you.
never
good.
letting
We
you leave. Talk
For all
really
those that come
ugly
to
touch
Twitch,
your
welcome
friends.
to Mixer. Absolutely.
Just stay well away from Gooby and you'll be fine.
Yep, I agree on that one.
Wait,
Gooby.
Goose,
Oh,
what
I need
state
to
are
turn
you
my
in?
timers off. Sorry, guys. Hang
Where
on.
did puppies go?
New South Wales.
His internet.
Oh, he
Cracked it.
died.
He'll be back. All right, Llama. Tell us about yourself.
Llama.
Llama.
Llama, I've been around, I think it was 2016, so it was still Beam when I was on. Haven't really streamed much. It's been on and off. Again, like you, kind of just moderating and just hanging around doing nothing. Games that I play, Realm Royale definitely is probably my best one. But then chill games like Sea of Thieves as well. Depends on what I feel like. Interesting fact. I've got two. First one, Chalk. Where did you get that shirt from? Because I'm jealous. Is that from Fortress?
This is from Fortress Melbourne.
It
yes.
is from Fortress.
It's Fortress Melbourne. Went there opening day and got
Nice.
signed up.
Weird.
I'm an OG,
Ooh, fancy.
which means I get benefits for life.
Ooh. Are they? Hopefully they can stay open and stuff with all of this
I
stuff that's going
hope
on.
So they're doing really well. In other ways, in terms of they've got a Discord stuff going to try and sort of shift their focus to still build the community whilst they can't actually have people in the building.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was a really bad time to open a new business model that's
yeah.
facilitated around in-person LANs and stuff.
Shared computer devices that heaps of people are touching each and every day. I mean, small
Maybe not.
rooms filled with 100 people.
Totally sanitary. We got a comment there that you have a very glorious beard, Llama.
Oh, thanks. Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
Sorry, Chalk. Sorry, Goobs.
Nice.
How dare you?
Yeah, I see the peach fuzz, Goobs. You're growing up so fast, aren't you?
Oh.
Oh,
You're a little bit quiet there, Z.
Yeah, Z, you're quiet.
Crank your mic. Crank your mic up.
Finally, Jesus. Whew.
Shut up, you.
I told you it wasn't me, Z. You didn't listen.
I don't know why I'm
Believe me.
quiet. I'm on like full.
There you go.
Oh, there you
better.
go.
That's good.
That's better. Yeah.
That's what we want.
All right. Worry.
All right.
Sorry
Z,
about it.
tell us about
Good
yourself.
segue.
How long have you been on Mixer? And I know random fact or why you want to be on Mixer, why you love it.
Hi,
Stuff like that.
friends. I think everyone really knows me already, but in case you don't, I'm Z. I've been on Mixer for like over 2 years. I've been partnered for nearly 2 years as well. I'm a variety streamer, literal variety. I know a lot of people use that quite freely, but yeah, no, I do play a lot of different games. Super involved in the community in Australia, New Zealand, and outside. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Horror games.
Yeah, I play a lot of horror. I play a lot of
So how she does
JRPG.
it.
PS1 was probably the most iconic like era for me. It's when I really fell in love with gaming. So you find that I do revisit a lot of like retro PS1 games. Yeah, ask questions. Happy to answer them.
I have a fun fact about Z.
Oh God.
Ooh,
Oh, all right, here we go.
Do we need it? Okay. Yep.
We're all on 18 plus, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dad is bad, and I
Yes.
beat her at Age of Empires too.
Oh, get out. Okay.
We did.
Can I tell like the whole story here?
Oh, I mean, you got beat.
So I do love to play Age of Empires 2 quite competitively, but we were playing just casually. It was me and 3 other Aussie streamers. And can we point out the fact that it was like me versus all 3 of you?
I think it
No,
was
you
more
can't
the
point
fact
that
it was you and Kate versing each other, and we were just on the sideline together.
You waited
And then
until my
waited-
forces were dwindled and my
Yes.
supplies were nil, and then you swooped in and took the victory.
Pro
You little
strats.
shit.
Pro
And I've
strats.
never been so proud of myself.
Anyway, there's always
Thank
another
you.
side to the story, guys.
Thanks for the follows, everyone. Just really quickly before we move into the next intro, everyone's streamer tags for Mixer is on display on my window. So be sure to share your love with all of these wonderful content creators. We're all on Mixer. So find us, follow us. Please continue. Sorry.
Except for that person.
Who is
Who's
that?
that
though?
person on
Yeah,
your
who is
side?
that person?
Except for Goobs. Goobs
Exactly, because it's different.
Yeah, I do absolutely fuck all, so he's not wrong.
For me.
The Coop, you just hit 300 follows, so congrats on that.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
gee.
Lovely.
Jeez.
You can't get any more follows. You're on a great number.
I'll just ban the next person that follows me. There you go.
Oh,
Just-
no.
Thanks for the follow, but I got to ban you.
Sorry, bud. I just got to stay at 300.
Gotta
Bye,
maintain.
Diva.
Bye, Diva.
Bye, Diva. Love you.
So yeah.
Thanks,
Love you
Juicy.
guys.
You too, Jake Porter.
Okay,
Yes,
Um,
please.
let's feel
Yeah,
that.
Lacey, I'm not sure what you mean by your
Magic.
question.
Hyper, you need to calm down, boy. Does anyone have like a spray bottle of water for Hyper?
Oh, I'd so do that. Like,
Yeah, you just got sprayed.
oh, Mutant Havoc wants you to ban him and Goob.
Oh, please, actually. Lit. All right.
Bet.
Bet I'm actually doing it. Sorry, bud.
Papa's
What
brain.
has been? Maybe we do like a question round talk, like something. I know it's like cheesy, but biggest learning you've had or a biggest win as a creator that you've had so far. Maybe I don't know, something to the creative juices.
That sounds good. You go first.
That's fair.
Throw
I'm
in
not
the
with
deep
the
end.
idea. What is the biggest thing I've learned so far is there's been a lot. Don't stream 7 days a week. It's not that I don't feel like it's the right way to grow and become a successful creator. And I think everyone, when they first get started, I've had lots of conversations with lots of different people of varying experience levels in the space. And it's like that initial, there's like an endorphin hit, you get like really excited and you you want to stream 24/7 because it's so much fun, and you feel like by streaming more and longer hours, you're going to grow faster. And I found that one of the best things that I did very quickly was bring that back to 3 to 4 days a week of scheduled content creation, adding in some YouTube creating elements into my day, and then making sure that I had downtime for me, because it allowed me to be not burned out and provide ultimately better content, which facilitated growth more effective. So that's probably been one of my bigger learnings.
All right, let's throw it over to Tan.
Well, what I've learned is to ignore the trolls. Basically, they're just wasting their time. So, I mean, a lot of people do suffer from anxiety and whatnot, and they take it personally. Don't take anything that a troll says personally. Your mods are there to assist you to get them out of your chat. Don't even read it. Don't even read the comments. Don't waste your time. That's all I can say to every streamer on Mixer or any stream, any platform. Don't waste your time on the trolls.
You definitely need a thick skin for this industry. I hate to I don't want to sound like, I don't like putting male, female separately, but especially as a female, I think, yeah, you definitely need a thick skin.
You do.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is, behind a keyboard, everyone's so tough and can talk.
Oh, yeah.
That's
right.
Going, oh, I can say what I want because there's going to be no ramifications because they're not in the room with me. And I mean, people can really be quite nasty human beings in the end.
Oh, some comments can really, really mess you up. But but if you don't let that get to you, just know that you're better than them. You know what I mean? They're obviously got nothing better to do but waste their time and obviously your mods' time, because they have to deal with it. But other than that, just don't take anything that a troll says to heart and personally, because it's not worth it.
Have you found a lot of trolls? Like, maybe just because I'm so early on in my journey, like I get the occasional random comment, but it's like so minimal that I'm just like, whoa, Mixer is heaven in comparison to something like Twitch.
Well, with me, because I obviously wear devil horns, it's religious. I get a lot of the religious things, like, you need Jesus, stuff like that.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, hello, can you read my name? I get people like that. Llama's one of my admin, and he's there all the time. He knows how many trolls I do get. Because I'm an older streamer as well. I'm not the 21-year-old that are streaming on Mixer and using the cleavage and stuff like that. But and I never do that. But I'm older, and I get, hey mum, where's my cookies and stuff like that, So it's just wasting time. They're just kids that are just like, come on, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, But it's really hard sometimes to just remind yourself they're kids. They have no filter. They have exactly no perception. They don't really understand.
Everyone has a different tolerance. Like, Mixer has some really great tools that you can use to moderate these kind of things. If there are certain things that trigger you that might not trigger someone else or whatever, you can add keywords. Like, you really need to utilize the security features of Mixer. That's one thing I love about Mixer in particular. I just feel like they really do take our security very seriously. They're quick to act on trolls that you report. Yeah, always use that report button as well, because people may come back with different accounts or whatever. It happens. I like to play with trolls a little bit, but yeah, like I said, everyone's different. But I don't know. I on the flip side, I do think if you have a thick skin, some people just have like weird sense of humors or whatever, or they like to get a reaction or whatever. But I've had some pretty loyal followers that were trolls in the beginning, like that were just for a joke or whatever. Yeah, but like I said, again, everyone's tolerance is different. So
that's right. And if they stick with you for a little while and then they troll you for a while, you don't even
like, hey, she's pretty awesome.
Sometimes they move on.
Got a sense of humor.
They do, and then they see that the content that you're providing is either funny or it's just pathetic. But they still stick around. Yeah. So and if they're going to be nice and respectful in the chat, then they can stay. Otherwise. Yeah.
And leading on from that, and there's always the whole idea of, focusing on the positivity that can come from communities like this. And one of my, biggest influences, especially when I first started on Mixer, and still to this day, is guys like Rocket Bear, where, his entire stream is built around just being really positive, being friendly, being helpful. Mm-hmm. If you're a troll, cool, we'll tell you, hey, that's not cool. No one finds you funny. That's not cool. That's your warning. Next time, you go into the corner for a few minutes. If you still think, okay, cool, you lose your privileges, you're out of here. And it's fair. Gives them a chance to go, hey, we're trying to explain to you that's not actually what goes on here. And the right behavior, how to work, how life works in the end. And one thing I really admire about him as well is that, he signs off every stream reminding people that you can be the best part of someone's day just because you were nice to someone. And that's a really important message. And I think it's something that doesn't, over the internet, doesn't always sort of come across, because it can be so impersonal sometimes, because you turn the screen off and you don't have to deal with that person anymore. But just being nice to someone, even if it's through some, a platform like Mix, where you make friends, but you never met these people because they live on the other side of the world. But you could still really make that person's day and really make a difference in their life. And I think that's just a really important thing to remember with that.
I think ultimately that's part of why we're here, right? Is just to create that sense of community and home. Like that's, I was chatting to one of my community members, and that's ultimately what I'm trying to create, is just that place of home. Fun, it's enjoyable, you can be yourself, you can learn and grow from each other's influences. And I think especially times like now remind us of how much of a difference even, the smallest things, like you can. And I feel like you summarized it really well. Like you can choose to be the best part of someone's day or not. And that's a choice that we all have. No one can take that choice. I think it's really powerful.
That's definitely part of why we formed Mixer DownUnder as a community. Was I know myself and a few others here have been around Mixer for long enough, and we know what it was like when we first started. Some of us in the Bean days, and the kind of reception and positivity we were all greeted with, because there was still a very, very new platform, and they were welcoming anyone coming in and just checking it out. Really wanting to be friends with everybody. And, part of Mixer DownUnder is trying to live on that legacy of, that's basically what this community is, and keep that kind of feel, the experience that, I got when I first joined the platform. I want to be able to give that to other people when they first join the platform. And that's the whole sense of community and family, is, I think, stronger than a lot of other places and a lot of other social media on the internet at the moment.
Yeah. Chase has a question in chat around, do we have any thoughts on streamers who become overly political or religious? And so Chase's perspective is he doesn't think that that's a great idea. Have any of you had any experience with that and have any thoughts to share on that topic?
I don't think it's bad if someone's religious or political is a little bit different. The whole religious part of it, I don't see a problem with it unless they're trying to force it down your throat. Like if they're there trying to force it down your throat, that's when it gets a little bit over the top. But
we all live in, for the most part, free countries. We have freedom of speech. I think a mature adult, I know I welcome conversation about religion and politics, as long as it's not turning negative, into an argument. I don't see the issue. Like, I'm not religious, but I am always intrigued about religion. I don't know anything about politics, but if people are having a adult conversation and chat about it, I don't see the issue. Again, it's the same as trolls, really. Like, what triggers you might not trigger someone else. Everyone's different. You can be respectful about it. If something's bothering you, it's just like anything in life, really, isn't it? You let someone know and you go from there. I don't see a problem with it.
I think a lot of people ban a lot of political chat in most of their streams because they don't want to, because it's such an easy topic that can go down a rabbit hole and become a personal thing. Yeah. But I think if it's done in a way where, hey, maybe if you really want to chat about a topic, go into a web show, put in the title what you're talking about, but have pretty clear guidelines on, hey, we can chat about it and we can have different point of views, but we're not going to start throwing insults at each other.
No.
And it's just about having that, respect for the argument and for the person making the argument, and not just going, well, you just think that because you're dumb.
Yeah, you can't let it become
Opinions,
personal.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I also think, in addition to what these folks have said, Chase, at the end of the day, if there's a creator that's providing content or topics that aren't that you're not finding enjoyable or that you find conflicting for you, then obviously at the end of the day, you have a choice to maybe take them out of your viewer list. So then you maybe might just the end result might be that you decide not to participate in their communities anymore, which is of course always a valid option as well if things kind of get taken to the next level.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure,
Welcome
ask
back,
us
Puppy.
questions, guys.
Yeah,
Welcome
throw in your
back.
questions
Thank
in
you.
chat.
Sorry.
Welcome back, puppy.
It was that it's that fantastic time of the night. My internet decides to go, no, you're done. Have a nice night.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Freedom time too, right?
Before it does that again, introduce yourself and how long you've been on Mixer, and either random fact or why you love being on Mixer, that kind of stuff.
Cool. So
Hey, Red.
Thanks,
I'm
A-Bob.
Puppies, deft_puppies on the usual tags. I've been on Mixer for nearly 3 years ish.
And I was
on
as me.
Yeah, about the same time as Z came on. I think it was just after you, but I was on Twitch about a year previous to that. Mixer's it's got cool vibes. I like the people here. It's not a harsh, barren environment. Like Twitch kind of felt a little hostile for me for quite a while, which is why I left. But yeah, I really enjoy the people here and the people I've met, and it's kind of hard to imagine going anywhere else now. I stream when I can. I work full time as a chef as well, which is always fun. And yeah, that's me.
Dinner?
I mean, I can, but you have to
But will
pick it up as
he?
a takeaway, and we have to keep 1.5 meters of distance.
What state are you in?
Queensland.
Don't mind me asking.
Oh,
Okay,
excellent.
that's-
Dinner
Yes.
time when this is over.
I moved to Brisbane 3 months ago. So just before.
Great.
I'm pretty sure
3
I've got.
months. I was
Welcome
going to
you
say
here.
like 3 weeks. I feel like it was just the other day. Oh
No,
my
it wasn't.
god.
Was it? I don't know. I don't know.
That-
Time's a void right
It
now.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've got
What
3
day is
weeks
it?
to
Where
live
are we?
Bro, what day
What
is it?
year is it?
It's been 84 years.
Jet had a question earlier around whether we have, obviously we're a Mixer community here with MDU, and do we have any welcome kits or packs for new streamers to Mixer to help them get started? I don't think we have anything from our side yet that's non-Mixer created. Chalk, but I think you've got some thoughts on that coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon.
Ish,
Might be having
TM?
something in the works. Got some thoughts on ideas on some stuff and things. The good Jet, if you're still in the chat, in your dashboard. So I'm not sure if you can get access to a PC if you're on Xbox. It looks like you might be on Xbox. But there's a really amazing tool called the Mixer Academy. And just go to academy.mixer.com. And that'll actually run you through a lot of things in streaming in terms of how to be a really good viewer, how to be a really good moderator for other streamers, and how to be a really good streamer. And it's an amazing tool that talks about, some stuff from technical side of things and the rules, how to behave yourself, right through to how to best use social media and that kind of stuff. So if anyone hasn't done that Mixer Academy, your PC, awesome. Yeah, go to academy.mixer.com. There's a few online courses basically. It's
That's
an
not a
amazing
rolling
tool
call. Sorry.
that an amazing tool that the Mixer staff have put together. I highly recommend you go through that, and that will give you a really good insight into how much work is involved in each of those processes, and just really good starting point for you.
I
Awesome.
think Lama
sauce.
just sent him the link.
Yeah, I did. I just DM'd him.
Oh,
I didn't know if I'd get things clarified.
I thought he was thanking him
Oh
for
my God.
talking. I was
Is it the
"What
beards?" Yeah.
Just on that as well, I think that you have your fundamentals when it comes to streaming, and that what you've just gotten a link to is definitely a good start. But I'm of an opinion that you really don't have a guide to streaming because people are different. Everyone's content is different. Like everyone can stream, anyone can stream, but whether you're successful or not is dependent on many things, really. But fundamentals is definitely, check out that link. Ask questions. Always ask questions, but it comes down to you as a person as well, you know.
That's a big one. Ask questions. So a lot of people have come to me for the last couple of years for advice on how to do things on stream. 90% of it is because people have asked me questions, or I've asked questions before on, oh, hey, how'd you manage to get that to work? Oh, you've done that. Okay. And then learnt from that. Ask questions, because if you don't know how to do it, someone else might see it and say, I reckon I might be able to work out how to do it, and then they can guide you through how to do it.
On top of that, with technical side of stuff, YouTube is your absolute best friend.
Yeah.
If you can't find anyone that knows anything at the time, there is generally some kind of guide out for what you're looking for the most part.
One thing people need to remember, though, when they start streaming and stuff, like a lot of people I've seen, one of my friends was doing it for a while too. He was playing games to get the viewers. He wasn't playing games like he loves Final Fantasy and all that sort of stuff, but he wasn't playing those games, the games that he liked playing and that he was good at, because he wanted to play. He was playing Fortnite at the time to try and get the viewers and stuff. Yeah, and I said, don't do that. It doesn't matter what music you're playing in your stream, what games you're playing. Like there's a community out there that like watching Final Fantasy and Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid, all those games that might not be Fortnite and COD and Medal of Honor and all that sort of stuff, but there's still a community out there for it. You still got viewers for every game. There might only be 10 people watching a game on Mixer, but like you grow an audience.
Yeah, for that particular game. That's right.
That's like Keno. When he first started doing RP, there was literally like nearly no one watching 5M RP. And
now
look at the community's grown now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done amazing things. Another good example, you screen sharing.
Oh my god. Who's doing that?
The police truck are having a DNM right now. Jesus.
Is that chalk or llama? I can only
Chalk.
It was short.
Anyway, another good example of someone that's really built something from the ground up, like directory-wise, is if you're familiar with Captain Robear with D&D, and D&D was something that was completely, it was nothing. You know what I mean? But playing what's hot is not going to get you views and all that sort of stuff. It's saturated. For me personally, like I can read people quite well, and I feel it really shows in your face and in your posture and everything if you're not having a good time. And that's not the kind of audience you want to attract either. If you want to do this long term, you're not going to keep playing, that Fortnite for the rest of your life. So that's where networking definitely is pivotal. It really is pivotal. And don't just network with anyone. You obviously want to network with people that love what you love, same passions and stuff like that. And you'll find their community will gravitate towards you for common interests, and it sort of just keeps going. It's a gift that keeps on giving,
I guess a question that comes up all the time is about networking, right? How to do it correctly and what not to do, because we've all seen it. That's one thing, I guess, maybe to include in the streamer starter pack, whatever we're going to call it. Just some advice on how to actually network. Don't just, sit there and host someone.
Not follow for follow. Hi, this is my channel.
What do you mean follow for follow doesn't
work?
Can we talk about those people that come into your channel when they're still live? And hey,
go back to your intro streaming.
God, it is the worst. I had it happen last night, and I'm like,
It's been happening really often, and then I just wanted to come and support someone that was playing the same game as me. I'm like, but you're streaming right now.
And I will guarantee that you were number one for that game. That's why they've come into your channel.
Yeah.
I've had that same
not even number one for the game. I was like,
don't do that, guys. Okay, don't do that.
Because
there's one way to be openly mocked for the next 2 hours.
Oh, it would have been so
While you're basically in their channel, you're not focusing on your channel and the people that are viewing your channel. That's just outright rude.
Anyone starting
disrespect for the streamer that you've gone into on top of your own stream.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone starting off streaming, they should also before you build a full community up, you need to be good at talking to yourself, because you will be talking to yourself.
Yes,
you're still going to make content regardless if your chat's moving or not. And I think, I know you can do it on Xbox, I know you can do it on OBS, but don't worry about how many viewers you have in your chat. I've seen so many people worrying about how many viewers they've got. Even if it's 12 people, you're not going to have all 12 people necessarily talking to you. You might have one person. But that's one thing. Like when I first started, I used to just talk to myself for 3 hours and straight. And you get off stream, you're like, I feel like such an idiot. But you still do it anyway.
I think that's really valid. Something that was said, I'm a quick side note. Here's a quirky thing about me that I didn't mention before, but I'm a massive Harris Heller fangirl. So if you don't know Harris Heller, he creates a lot of content for content creators on how to be great at content creating from hardware and all of that sorts of things. And one thing that he said when I first started out that really resonated with me was, even if you're only streaming to a couple of people, present yourself as a professional, successful content creator, because at some point, if you continue on your journey, you will be, and that's how you want to be seen. You want to be seen as a professional. You might not have all of the resources to do lighting and a great mic and all of those sorts of things. That will come with time. But as an individual, present yourself as a professional content creator, because that's how you want to be seen. And that really resonated with me, and I've tried to embody that in everything that I've done so far.
Yeah, and that mirrors on your Twitter accounts or your social medias as well. If you are acting up on your social media using this person and arguing about this thing and arguing about that thing and judging people on your Twitter and it makes you look like a bad person, even though you're not. But because you're portraying yourself as being judgmental and so forth, that the streamer side and your social media side, they actually do combine. People look at that, especially when they're trying to going for a sponsorship or something like that. So they do look at how you behave outside of streaming and what you're doing on your social media as well.
Yeah, I got super strong opinions on it. Exactly what Tan is saying. Especially in this industry, your social media platforms are basically your business portfolios. I really think content creation, it's not going to be viewed in a more professional light until you start acting like professionals. You shouldn't be treating it any differently to an everyday job. You shouldn't be adding companies with your critical, negative. You don't do that. The way that you act, it needs to be professional. I'm the queen of opinions, right? And that's okay, but I do it all behind the scenes. You know what I mean? It's okay to be opinionated and have different views and everything. You just need to pick your platform to express that. I'd keep it to DMs, private conversations and stuff like that. Because Twitter especially, if you want to be a content creator, I can't stress enough, Twitter is the platform you really need to focus on.
Networking is so easy on Twitter.
Yeah, it's really great. It's a really great platform to use, and it's really like a business portfolio. It's definitely where I've gotten all my opportunities, my business opportunities and everything from.
Yeah, and bear in mind that Twitter is forever. You can delete the comments, but they're always archived somewhere.
Yeah, 100%.
And if it's something that's bad, you can guarantee someone that doesn't like you has screenshotted it.
Oh yeah,
that's right. That's exactly right.
It'll come back to bite you in the ass real fast.
I love the ones where there might be. No, I won't say anyone's name, but there might be a streamer, like a bigger streamer, and they've gone and liked something that they probably shouldn't have on Twitter. And it still comes up in your feed like such as like this photo. It's like
as well,
you
guys.
Absolute idiots.
If you can see your likes.
Yes, I can see what you're interacting with, guys.
We've had quite a few. Oh, sorry, guys. We've had quite a few more join. If someone else wants to do a quick introduction to those that just joined the channel and what we're chatting about today, else wants to do it? Go.
I did just to say, I don't know if any of you guys are streaming, but Georgie, I did send you a co-invite if you want to join chats because I've got a chat going on over on my channel as well.
That would have made it a lot easier earlier.
So then we have chat all in the one spot.
That would be great.
Also, Discord now has the video chat thing too.
Yeah, it does.
It came out today, or for me anyway.
Yeah,
Discord with the voice calls, you can now add video chat to that.
Yeah. They rolled them out like 5% of all servers like 3 weeks ago, and now they've just been rolling it out. And
yeah.
Oh, nice.
It hit most of my servers today.
Can you resend?
Yeah. Servers boosted, so we should actually get pretty good.
Who is streaming so that I can set up?
I am not.
So really quickly, folks, welcome to the stream. This is a web show. We've got a bunch of Aussie and are there any New Zealanders in here? Kit, did you say you were New Zealander? No. All right. So we've got a bunch of Aussie streamers.
If there's any New Zealand streamers out there that want to join in, please come in. We need a bit of flavour.
We do need some flavour, and I need fish and chops. So we've just gotten together
to go all the New Zealanders.
Where's Marcus? Marcus is usually really active. I'm surprised he's not here.
Oh, yeah.
He might be online, actually.
So who is Little Devil Tan? I'll send you a co-invite.
Devil Tan, Kit, and Georgie.
Are you streaming? I can't see you online.
Are you? No, not.
I didn't think so.
Just the three of you?
All right, it's just a Little Devil Tan.
All right, I'm trying to get this right really quick. We're a bunch of Aussie Mixer creators. Ask us anything. Go. Red has a question. Is streaming through an Xbox viable? I have no experience with console.
100% light stream.
With Mixer, it definitely is. It's made it really easy.
Yeah. So if you want to take it seriously, at least look at getting Mixer Pro so you can use light stream and get all the really fandangled overlays and alerts and stuff going. That just makes it look like you're taking this seriously and you're not just sitting on a couch at home, push 2 buttons and you're streaming. So that's always a good thing. Eventually, you probably do want to have a setup to a PC, but it's not required. There are a lot of partners that only ever play Xbox games. So, and a lot of them started by streaming directly through their Xbox for a long, long time. So absolutely.
I know people who are still streaming off their Xbox One to like 2,500 followers, and then once they could afford the setup and decide they wanted to take it a little more seriously and get a better setup for more quality, they did that slowly. And that's the best thing about the Xbox capabilities with Mixer is it's a low investment to get in to try it out. You don't have to go out and buy a whole heap of stuff. You can just boot up the Xbox. If you've got a webcam, great. I mean, normally they're only about $60-$70 for a decent cheap one. And you go from there.
They're all sold out at the moment.
Yeah. Under one.
But that goes with everything. You don't need to have the best of the best to begin with. You don't want to go and spend hundreds of dollars on something and potentially not even want to continue the journey. Do you know what I mean? Right. So everyone started with minimal. Basics. I know I had a headset and a headset microphone. I didn't have a camera. I didn't have this. I didn't have any of this stuff. And now I do. So that's the journey, That's
I was using an Xbox and a Kinect for quite a while with just the mic headset. Yeah. It was what's fine.
Yeah, I was using some $40 EB Games headset for ages, and just the Xbox, and for ages I was just using I bought a game, like just a game capture card, and just had it plugged into a laptop from my Xbox, and I was streaming for ages, using the webcam off the laptop.
Yep.
I think I would suggest
it's getting easier. Because now that you've got webcams, you just plug into your Xbox and it works. Headset mics aren't terrible, and there's a lot of really good software that are being developed, like the NVIDIA thing at the moment that I tested. And with this headset mic, I was able to have the noise cancellation, bang 2 cans together quite loudly, like really loudly, and it would get rid of the cans but still have my voice there. And that is out of the box works.
Chalk and I were crying earlier about this because we a week ago spent about 7 hours setting up my audio to reduce key clicks on my
And then they
keyboard.
keep
Use it to
Send a video and just like
activate noise
bam.
suppression.
I was like, why?
Red, to answer your question, there are tons of successful streamers that do not have webcams.
Correct.
Obviously, I personally, and I think a lot of people are probably more attracted to seeing like a face because they want to see your reactions. But in saying that, there's other ways. Like if you build your community on the not having a webcam, they're not going to know any different, and it sort of just goes from there. But I think that there's definitely more pressure on people that don't have webcams to be a big personality because you don't have your, you know.
They need to have
You have to express. You have to express so much more, like through your voice. I know, like people like Lyric is probably the first person I can think of who is probably the only like streamer who's on Twitch, obviously, biggest no cam streamer. But the thing with him is he's just done it for so long. Firstly, people haven't given a crap that he doesn't have one, and that he's very expressive and he interacts a lot.
Vocal presence is huge if you're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even if you're discovering that, okay, I'm not really enjoying that streaming thing if I don't have a cam, there's a lot of other very similar content creation stuff like YouTube videos that you could make that maybe the cam is not as important. Because you might discover streaming's not really necessarily for me, not getting a lot of traction, not really enjoying it as much as I thought I would. But hey, I can make YouTube videos and edit them, and that might be a calling. That is a very similar market, use very similar sort of setup.
Yeah.
That might be, you know, you might go, okay, maybe that's a branch I can look down. So that's always another option as well.
There's some really cool things you can do outside of having a webcam. There's face rig programs you can get, so you can have like little animated characters. There are some people that have created actual like animated characters, and they've built their brand on
Isn't
that.
There a partner that uses animated characters?
Yeah, there was Nibbles. There was Nibbles
Descender.
and
Descender,
Grimlock.
Mara
I know
Let's
Grimlock
Play.
does as well. Another good one, but
There's heaps.
yeah.
I think
Now,
microphones.
I'm going to say it's not
like,
going to
if
be
you're gonna
harder.
You're going to start with hardware, and you're not sure where to get started. I think having a good quality microphone is really important. It doesn't have to be like top end, but something that isn't painful to listen to, because especially if you don't have a webcam and you've got people coming in and you're crackly or you're cutting in and out or you've got like weird sounds and people are like, oh God, like, and I don't want to listen to you, they're just going to leave your stream pretty quickly. So I'd be thoughtful with your microphone where you can. Headset mics are usually fine. To be honest, gaming headset
These
mics are
days,
usually
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Whatever you do,
how they used to be.
if possible, always avoid using a webcam as a microphone.
Oh,
God.
please,
It's
yes,
fucking...
please don't. Please don't. No.
Bad.
And they're
sounds
okay
beautiful.
on a laptop talking to your grandma about her day and her cooking recipe for apple pie. But when you got, and let's be brutally honest, you're almost competing with everyone around you for a certain market share. So you've got to be able to convince them that, why would, stick on my stream, we're going to have some fun. If they come to your stream and they can barely hear you, or you're not talking because you don't think anyone's watching and you're not talking, you've got less than 10 seconds to try and get that person to stay in your stream. So that immediate impression, if all of a sudden all they hear is this echoey voice from a webcam mic, or it just crackles, or there's a dogs barking in the background that aren't out of control, you're probably going to lose that view very, very quickly.
Something else you want to do though when you have your mic is, especially with OBS, like obviously on the Xbox you won't be able to do it, but OBS and all that, you can put noise gates and all that sort of stuff on, so it increases the quality of your mic.
And can I just say, if you need help with audio, reach out to Chalk, because he is literally a audio wizard. He will solve your issues, audio lighting issues. Reach out to Chalk. He is genuinely amazing with this stuff. He can fix any problem, guaranteed. And if he can't, he'll give you a free set of steak knives.
What?
They pull out
Commission
back.
steak knives.
You get commission on this, or?
That's interesting.
I'm just appreciative. Yeah. Audio stuff's fun. Stressful.
Yeah.
Audio is a nightmare. Let's be honest. No one
Yeah,
likes it.
oh god.
Chat to your community, like be engaged. When I was getting started, I feel like I grew pretty quickly. Like when someone clicks on your stream, you've got like 15 seconds to convince them that they should stay. And one of the best ways that you can do that beyond not having a mic that is painful to listen to is to just say hey. Even if they don't say hey back, at least like acknowledging their presence. I found that to be the strongest growth driver for me, is that initial
One thing I don't do is I don't call out lurkers.
Yeah.
They come into my channel. If I see their name in chat and they haven't said hello to me, I won't say hello to them.
Oh, don't ever do that.
Oh, the rule. That's the unwritten rule.
It is.
As a lurker, if someone calls me out, I'm gone. I'm done.
I'm gone and I'm never coming back.
Oh,
There's a
you
reason
don't
why
care
I'm
now.
called a lurker. Like, you know, I'm not there to be called out.
Yeah, especially with like bots like Scotty Bot have that like auto enabled, and I absolutely hate it.
Big yikes, guys. Don't do it, please.
Just don't use Scotty Bot, but if that's the only thing, just don't call people out at all.
Yeah,
If
they
you
say
see
hey in
somebody
chat.
there, just notice yourself that it's noted that they were in your chat. And I DM them later on saying, hey, thanks for your support. I noticed you were lurking there. And it's no problem, you know. So I acknowledge myself and it doesn't go unnoticed, but I will not call them out and put them on the spot to say hello because that's not what they want.
Yeah. No, you don't know what's going on. They could be lurking because maybe, I don't know, they've got a conflict in chat with someone else. They don't want to cause drama. Or maybe they're just lurking because they're working, you know. I find that's a lot of the case.
And also their boss
they're
walks
working. Or they just want something to listen to in the they're driving, or do you know what I mean? Like I personally as a lurker, like I'm there just to view the content, and sometimes I'm doing, you know, multitasking, doing a million other things. So I don't like to be called out. But some people have anxiety. Like you just don't do it.
Just fucking leave them alone, eh?
Just leave them alone. You can indirectly talk, like if you're commentating, you know, everything, like you should really just be talking like someone's there regardless. You don't need to use names, but no.
And one of the things that you often see when people do get rejected on partnerships because of engagement, one of the things that they say is you're expected to be basically making a TV show, pretty much, which means you are providing content regardless of people are talking or not. Now, okay, it can be hard if no one's talking back to you. If that's the case, cool. Commentate what you're doing. Say, I'm just going to go over here, search this area here, and maybe then I'll go up here and just talk to yourself about what you want to be doing.
Narrate yourself. Yeah.
Have conversations with your NPCs that don't talk back.
That's right. Exactly.
Missy was actually really good. Like I've never watched anything like Missy was playing original Final Fantasy. I didn't even know that it was Final Fantasy. It just looks so old. Anyway, it's not the point.
97. Yep.
Whoa, imagine.
I'm gonna go get my walking stick real fast.
She was reading out the text, like the narrative of the characters, and I thought that was really really cool. I liked that.
And bonus points if you're doing them in funny voices and have different voices for everybody else. So it's like someone reading those, you know, those books that people read onto the tape recorders and stuff.
Audiobooks.
Couple of weeks ago, I got a message from a friend, and like, they're playing Outlast, and they said, can you come in and read this down, like the notes and stuff? We'll jump into VC. That's all you got to say. You don't have to talk to me. I just want you to read the notes out in like stupid voices. And I ended up reading about like Herbert out of Family Guy and doing all these other stupid things. And like everyone's just like, this is just taking the scary out of this game.
You're doing them a favor, really?
Yeah.
Just remember, guys, also too, when you do go live and you hit that start streaming or whatever button, your broadcast button on the Xbox or whatever, make sure you are introducing yourself on the stream and saying, hey, how you going, guys? Thank you so much for coming on in, blah, blah, blah. I'm Little Devil 10, blah, 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 blah. Because your stream is being botted. So there's a past stream there. If somebody wants to view that, and make sure your past streams are enabled as well on your Mixer, because Mixer does look at that if you are looking at going into partnership. And they look at your old VODs and so forth. So, and people who have missed your stream and enjoy your content will go back in and they will look at that. So it's like is it Chalk that said that it's like a TV series that you're creating. So each episode they want to watch again. You know what I mean? You're going back. So it's like, it's not just push the button. Okay, we're going to go now. You
Just
know,
don't make
it's
your
not
TV
like
show
that.
like
It's
Home and
just,
Away.
yeah. It's like introducing
What are you
yourself
talking
again
about?
for people who want to view you and who don't know you, and it's like, oh, I'm just going to have a look at this. So yeah, and that's kind of professionalism as well.
Chalk, I don't know if you were
Absolutely.
answering Guru's question about whether it's demoralizing for streamers who see a big difference between those that are viewing / lurking and engaging in chat. Because there was a similar topic to what you touched on, but I wasn't sure if you were directing that at Guru.
Not directly. So yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to, the individual streamer, and, they might see that maybe their numbers have dropped, or maybe their chat's a bit quiet one day, and they might start going on, what's going on? Is my content dropping or whatnot? But I think a lot of those times you just got to kind of put it behind you that, you will have days that are like that, but you have days where you will get massive amounts of new people, making a lot of new friends, and it's, one of those things where I think just focus on those good days. Don't be too worried about, chat was a bit quiet tonight, but then, okay, as you take it more and more seriously, you might look at that from a professional level on, okay, when I stream these kind of games, I don't get these sort of numbers, but I really enjoy the game. So I want to keep playing that. Or go, well, I play that, chat's dead, I don't enjoy the game, why am I streaming this? Because I'm not enjoying it. My viewers, my community is not enjoying it. What can I do? What do I do that I enjoy and that they enjoy, that we can, pick that back up.
If your community sees you not enjoying it, then they're not going to enjoy it. So if you can make your community laugh and show that you're enjoying what you're playing, then they're going to stick around and they're going to watch it.
It can be a little. I know what I think. I know what you're saying, Guru. Especially with auto hosting now these days, numbers are definitely being artificially inflated. I do wish it was more on a basis of activity. So I think Twitch is sort of the same. Like, you can be lurking in a stream, but your view number doesn't actually count unless you're actively typing or moving your mouse, or do you know what I mean? If it was more like that, then it would be okay, because then you could really differentiate between people who have left a tab open and people who are quietly lurking, because that is definitely the case as well. If you're an obsessive thinker, like a lot of the time I can be, don't look at your numbers. I know I like what Chalk was saying with business, like you do kind of have to, if you do want to make something of this, sometimes numbers do definitely play a part in business opportunities and stuff like that as well. It is tough, isn't it? It's sort of, I guess it depends on your intent when it comes to streaming, like what you want to get out of it.
Numbers are a handy tool, but it's not something you should be really relying on. So you go back and go, right, let's look at my numbers for the week, see how things tracked, but it's not, you shouldn't be panic looking at them all the time midstream. So enjoy your streams, create the content, entertain the people, and outside of that, track your stuff, because that's important, especially if you want to make something of this.
Yeah,
you need to be tracking it, and you need to know, because when you approach people for game keys and sponsorships, they're going to ask you for those stats, and you're going to need to know them.
Yeah.
So it's important
and
to
there's
know
plenty of tools
what
to
you're
help with
worth
that
as well.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah, Social Blade's great. Mixer Stats great. There's some great tools.
Arsenal.gg is fantastic.
Arsenal is another good one.
So there's so many different types of tools, both built into Mixer as well as external sites, that can pull all that data for you and go and really give you an idea of the end. A lot of the times people have, gone on. I haven't really been growing that much, but then these few days here, I actually streamed at different hours, and I've got so many more viewers. And you go, well, maybe your content is better suited to those hours, and they move some of their scheduling, and then their streams just took off. And that's another thing, those kind of stats, and knowing that and being able to set time aside off stream to analyze that kind of stats, because you need to set time off stream to do stream stuff.
Yeah.
That's why, streaming 7 to 8 days a week is not feasible. You need to at least have a day or two a week where you can go through, analyze your stats, analyze your stream, see if you can make any improvements to it, make sure you're putting out the content you want to be putting out, and also to use that time to network with other opportunities. Try and, if you want to go into looking for stream keys and those kind of opportunities, you can set that time aside to focus on doing that without going, I'll just send a quick message and quickly get online because I've got to be streaming. I won't want to go unless I'm streaming. What you do behind the scenes is just as important as what you do in front of the camera.
That's right.
What you're saying about like pushing the content out that you want to, that's why I find it so difficult sometimes streaming during the week, because I do stupid hours of work. I'll start at 4 o'clock in the morning, work to any time in the afternoon or night, and I'll be telling myself all day, I'll stream tonight, I'm really keen to stream tonight, I'll play whatever game, and then by the time I get home and have a dinner and have a shower and stuff like that, I'll sit there and be like, I don't want to stream just for the fact that I know I'm not going to be pushing out the content that I want to push out. I'm going to be tired.
That's it.
Oh, it's not even that though. Like, I'll sit there and I'm like, I really wanted to stream, but I know that I'll be sitting there, I'll be half asleep while I'm streaming, and I won't be pushing out the content that I wanted, because I like interacting with people. I like being lively. I like being cracking jokes and all that stuff, and I don't want to be sitting there like, this is fun. Okay.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's good that you're aware of that, Yeah. It's good to be aware of that. Know your limits. Don't push yourself. If another thing I can't stress enough is stay on top of your bookkeeping as well. Especially that's for like partners, or I guess now that Ember's for all, so I guess it's everyone really. Just do that so you're not like inundated when it comes to tax time. That's why I set myself. I know it's hard with isolation now. I've got kids, so it's been all over the place. But I used to have, and hopefully will soon have, my Wednesdays back, because that was my day that I would do all my bookkeeping, networking, emails, like all of that stuff. Because it's not like, a lot of people have this misconception that we just play games and talk to a camera. Like, there's so much more to it behind the scenes. So definitely stay on top of that too.
I got to keep track of that 50 embers that I got. It's good.
Everyone's different,
Well, it would probably help if I actually streamed, but
I'm
watching you guys too much.
That's another thing I'll do on like a weekend, or something. I'll be like last night I was going to stream. I was keen as, and I just got someone to stream and just ended up sitting there for a couple of hours. I was like, it's too late.
And
I'll be like, cool, I can stream some hours Wednesday night. It's like, this person's online. I'm going to watch them. That's hey, how you going?
Yeah.
3 hours later.
Classic. One more game before I go live, and that never happens.
Well, Guru. Yeah, sorry. That's what I was going to say with Guru. I think that it's super rare that you have a personality streamer that is also really good at games. Like, I think that they're quite separate all the time. You can play games casually and just have a good personality. You'll find that those that have like crazy gameplay, they're really good at games, are super quiet, and that's because you need to focus. So it's understandable if you want to go down that route and you want to like show people how good you are at games. I think it's rare that you get the personality with the skill.
Yeah, if you look at like Ammunition, who in my opinion is like the world's best female FPS player, changed my mind, and Shroud.
I believe it's you, Georgie.
Oh gosh,
another one. Jeez.
It's like they don't have the big, vibrant personalities. They aren't always super engaged with their chat, and I go to their streams purely to watch them tear it up, because their skill level is just like mind blowing, and I'm just like entranced by just watching people with that raw talent. Like, so I have streams that I go to for different things. I will never be the kind of streamer that will make you go, damn, she just like totally tore that guy a new one, because that is just, I'm not that good. But I try and have a lot of fun with that. I embrace that. Yeah, I think we all have different styles, so.
Touching on what we were talking about before, like the whole talking while gaming thing. I know if I'm playing Forza or iRacing or something like that, if I'm in the middle of the race, I normally I'll see the chat in my like peripherals, not peripherals, whatever the word is.
Peripheral vision, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I'll see it moving, but I'll say, look, when I'm finished this race, I'll catch up on chat. And after that, I'll normally sit in the lobby, read through chat, catch up, answer questions, or talk to someone. And then I'll do another race. Normally with COD, I'm a little bit more. If I die, I'll quickly look over and answer whatever they're saying. But
it's definitely a muscle. And truthfully, I feel like you can learn it a bit, but you kind of either have that flair and your personality to be able to play games and still be pretty competent, like, and still enjoy it and still do well, and stay on top of chat consistently throughout the games without sacrificing too much gameplay. But other people like don't, and I think so. Sync, to answer your question, what's better, being really entertaining or being really good?
Depends
That's not
on
a black and white
preference.
answer.
Yeah,
It depends on what you enjoy. Like, do you want to be a big entertaining personality and connecting with your chat throughout an entire stream? Do you want to do bits and pieces? Like, and also, do you have the skill to just be like the type of Shroud personality?
And then you have
very
Procrast
personal.
that's saying like, what about us that lack game skill and lack personality?
Yeah.
Mm.
You might be.
Gotta have
Attacked.
something. You've obviously, I feel like you've obviously got something you want to share with people, right? You're here for a reason. You pressed start
Darren might lack
streaming
skill,
for
but he
a
doesn't lack
reason.
personality. Don't you
Mix
worry
is
about that.
not the one thing that people need to also remember. Mix is not purely just gaming. There's
No.
people that come and cook on here. There's people that read books on, like read
Yeah,
to
web
people on
shows,
here.
everything.
People
Like,
that brew
it's
beer,
Yeah.
like
there's so much stuff you can do. I know I won't say his name because I don't know if it's like public yet. But he wants to go to, because he goes to a lot of drifting sessions and like all that, like Matsuri and all that stuff. He wants to set up his cam there and stream Matsuri because there's going to be a car, like people that like that sort of stuff on here. So you can stream anything within reason. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a channel, and you can go and control a robotic arm. That's all it is. It's live all the time. It's fucking fantastic.
One of the most popular channels for a long, long time was literally, it was a webcam that was set up looking at a bird's nest, waiting for the birds to hatch.
I remember that.
And so people just had it on in the
around?
background as they were working on a separate monitor, and they were waiting for the birds to hatch. And for weeks and weeks, people were just like, it had like thousands of viewers constantly because people were just lurking in it on a separate screen somewhere in offices and all that sort of stuff, waiting for these birds to hatch. I saw one a couple months ago where someone did a very similar thing with, he had it set up in like, he's got like a massive backyard in the woods somewhere in the US. And he had it as a finding Bigfoot camera. And he would stream overnight, and there was like motion censored lights and stuff to try and catch Bigfoot stream. You know, there is so much variety in the kind of content that you can make. It really is no, one solution fits all.
I remember a stream one time I come across, Mixer too. He had, I think it was a Nintendo. No, it was a Nintendo 64, and he had Mario or something playing, and you could control the game through Mix Play, and you press all the buttons and stuff through Mix Play and run him around.
There was a Pokemon one like that too. He's a partner. He's from China, I think. I think he's from there. But yeah, you can do some amazing stuff with Mix Play, guys. Like, if you're into programming, I know there's another partner. I can't remember his name. Something cats. But
Sorry about your cats.
Sorry about your cats. And he had a hat that like programmed where you could push buttons and it would smack him in the face and stuff like that. Like,
that's so cool.
Yes, you could push it. You could slam the button and spin the sparks. Whack.
Yeah, you could do some crazy stuff. I had there was another Nigella, she was a variety streamer. She doesn't stream much anymore, but she had a bot that was like you could feed it and water it and like through the Mix Play. It's just it's amazing, and it's sad that Mix Play's definitely fallen. Like it's not as big as it's got it's so innovative, but it's just not being utilized really anymore. Not since Sparks became monetized, I think.
Like maybe there's something that this community can do to help that raise awareness. Maybe Chalk, I'm sensing a video.
We're like a grain of sand on this platform, but it's definitely something that needs to be utilized more, I think.
Yeah.
But
well, I know. So one of our very own New Zealand streamers, Eastie meets Westie, or Westie meets Eastie.
They do exist. We do have New Zealanders.
Yeah.
Eastie
meets
not fictional at all.
So he used to. I'm not sure if he does that so much anymore, but he used to stream even when he was at work. He would have cameras in his backyard that were where his dog was. And so you could change to different cameras to try and look if the dog was inside the doghouse or in the backyard somewhere area. And you could also spend some sparks, and it would feed the dog some treats from an automatic.
That's fucking
treat
sick.
And now it was time limited, so you couldn't feed the dog too much.
Yeah.
Treats, and it was like small servings and stuff, to make sure that the dog wasn't going to get too much per day. But that's the kind of amazing tools that you can use with things like Mixplay. And that's the kind of thing I want to really start investigating some more stuff into, which is why I'm looking at like the hue lights, where you can, change the lights to your backgrounds with Mixplay. And because if you can think of it, generally between Mixplay, Mixitup and the if that then tools, you can pretty much do it.
Like I was talking to Chalk the other day about it with the whole Mixplay, because I want to end up getting another camera and stuff and having it so the community, if they want to, can change the cameras and doing all that sort of stuff. Like I was only just talking to Chalk about that the other day.
And see, that one's really simple because you don't even need to program that much, because you just need to tell your bot to, hey, switch to a different scene or activate this source or what have you. Really simple, but it's the kind of thing. And a good example for everyone in chat that I've referred back to a lot is BabeX Pete, who are a couple that stream Destiny together. Amazing content creators, but they stream side by side. But you can use the Mixplay board just to say, oh, I only want to look at Pete's screen at the moment, or I only want to look at Babe's screen at the moment, or I want to look at both. And so you can control who you're watching at any one time. And that's a really good, a way of, making your streams a bit more interactive and getting your audience involved. Because if you can have really cool things that, okay, some of it might be a bit gimmicky, but it's a gimmicky that's going to make people engaging with your stream and go, oh, I remember I was in that person's stream and it was a lot of fun playing with their cameras or making them have a hat that slapped them in the face. People will remember that. And in this industry, if you can be remembered for your streams, you're doing well.
Yeah, speaking of that Mixplay stuff, there's one specific streamer that I remember. His background is software engineering, so he's already got the one up on most people. But he somehow got his Mixplay to then use a text box, and you could write into it, and it would use a speaker, and it would speak out to you with TTS. It was pretty bloody amazing when I first saw it. But yeah, that's the sort of stuff you can get with it. It's insane, some of the stuff you can do.
It's amazing stuff you can do. Oh, can I just point out, Smokes? Not one of us are British.
No.
Sorry, bud.
Sorry, Governor.
I'm not from London. I'm from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Sorry,
from
love.
1, 2, 3 Wallaby Way, mate.
Oh, God. So, yeah, maybe try another insult.
Oh, well, technically...
We'll do your homework first.
Technically...
I'm half. I technically have a passport.
Well, most of our ancestors are British. We're all prisoners in some way.
Be safe, Pageville. Drive safe. Don't get the Rona.
Oh,
Smoke still hasn't caught on. It's Australia. Hey, Australia. This is America. That's what you want to say.
Australia, mate.
Australia. England.
G'day, man.
This is Australia.
Just think Steve Irwin, and that's where we're from.
We're just trying to prove we exist. That's all.
We're actually all American. We're paid actors by NASA.
Right, Sinky asked, is it better to play one game or several games? That is up to you, what you like to play. Depending on what your community, I mean, you're going to be either building a community for one particular game, or you're going to have a couple of different games and blend in more community, more people who like the games that you're actually playing. It's obviously the streamer's choice. I myself go for a variety of games. I've got so many games on the go, it's not funny right now, but I enjoy playing every single one of them. So as long as you enjoy playing the games that you're playing, you'll draw in community.
I've never understood how, like, hands down to people that do it, that will sit there for
all the time.
play Fortnite or COD or something for like 8 hours straight, and then they'll be on the next day playing it again. It's like, that's like me. I'll play COD for like 2 hours. I'm like, I'm sick of this. I'll play something.
I'm sick of this shit.
See, I'm a bit stuck on COD, but I'm playing other games as well.
If I'm playing a campaign on a game, like Assassin's Creed or
campaign's different.
Red Dead or something like that. Campaign, I'll get sunk into it, and I'll sit there for hours playing it. But normally the next stream I'll play COD or something different, because I don't like mixing up a little bit what I'm playing. I don't just sit there and play COD.
I think those sort of people are ones that have maybe sunk themselves into metrics too much. I'd say that they because everyone I go through phases where I will play weeks and weeks of one game just because I'm really enjoying it. I do eventually hit a wall. I think that those sort of people have noticed a big influx of people, and then by the point that they've gone, I don't want to play this anymore, they've realized, oh shit, my whole community was built on this, and then they're really going to struggle going to something else after that.
That's right.
Yeah, there's been a couple streamers
I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by
limiting.
Good time for come back.
Yeah, but if you're good at syncing, you'll be playing it for skill. You'll be playing it you could possibly, if you are doing it that way and you're good at what you're doing and you've won money doing it, you could go into esports. You could go into esports, stuff like that. So that's something that you'd be looking at. If you are looking at streaming, then look at the skill side of things, not the entertaining side of things. But you still have to interact with your community and the people that are talking in your chat. So you've got to do the balance of both. If that makes sense.
Too much vodka.
I think. Thanks, Max.
Lies. There's never too much vodka. There's only not enough glass.
That's true. I think yes. In terms of the skill side, if that's the avenue you want to go down, and to touch on Tan's suggestion around making sure that you're engaging, maybe be more education geared. So talk about
why
you're doing
that.
Why you're like if you're an FPS shooter, for example, and you like a friend of mine plays Tarkov, and he actually gets people specifically like that he's killed in Tarkov, then come into his chat and say, hey, like that was an amazing shot. Can you help me with that? There's a lot of different avenues you can go down that touches and taps into your skill aspect that doesn't necessarily need you to be this big, vivacious personality entertainment streamer. I think you could still be really successful.
One thing that always annoyed me with some games, I'll just Fortnite for instance. I suck at it. I'm good at the shooting side of things, but when you start shooting and building and shit at the same time, you lost me. I can't to that degree. I can't multitask. And the people that come into your stream, if you're playing it, and if I'm playing it, I'm playing it for fun. Even with COD, I'm playing it for fun. I'm not competing. I'm not. And they'll go like, I'm way better than you at this and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't care.
You're a fucking trash kid.
Yeah. Or they jump in. It's like 1v1 me.
1v1 me, bro. Come on.
Yeah. It's like, no.
1v1 me and you're playing Skyrim.
I think that it pays in those sort of cases just to remind your audience now and again, hey, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring you. I'm just really focused right now. I need to, I need to be focused. Just reassure them. And then eventually you'll have people be like, no, they're not. When someone pipes up thinking you're ignoring them, no, they're not ignoring you. They're just really focused right now.
Sinky, you could stream that. Being the Fortnite coach, you could stream you coaching other players on how to Fortnite.
Bro, that was such a shit shot. You're so trash. No, I'm just kidding.
you could make content from that. You could YouTube from that.
Yeah.
You could,
plenty of people
do. Huge, yeah.
Especially in all those games where a lot of it is strategies, like a lot of the Siege and CSGO, where knowing where all the angles are, going, okay, that they're probably going to be running through there, so let's try and counter that balance. Because it becomes more strategy more than actually pointing and clicking on someone's head.
Yeah, I know. Go on, Georgie. Sorry.
I was honestly just going to say that every time I played R6, I died a little bit inside.
I was going to say something about R6, but I
died multiple times.
What Chalk said. There's literally channels out there that I've just watched that literally take Pro League, like the Pro League scrims and like actual like videos and just show you the angles.
Dissect them and
and that's it. That's all they do.
Yeah.
So games like that too. Games like that, like it's probably who I'm playing with more than anything. But I don't play those seriously either. Like I'll have fun playing them and I'll play them and I've played them well. But like if I'm playing R6, I'm normally playing with like Tace and Mazzy and all that stuff where 99% of the time you're laughing anyway, so you can't do what you want to do. But
are you saying Tace streams are funny?
The stuff he says, yes.
What? No way.
It's like the game we play called Unrailed.
Oh, fuck that game.
That's a great game.
It's stressful enough as it is because you got to get the resources, build the tracks, and there's a heap of stuff going on at once.
You just have
and then you got Tace yelling. You got Tace yelling in one ear. Yeah, you got Mazzy in one ear and Tace in the other. And it's just like,
there was a video game that legitimately broke me. It was StarCraft 2. So I used to do some work at esports tournaments, and I would like watch these players play StarCraft 2, and I can't even comprehend how you can do so much simultaneously in a single game, and it is just 24/7. It blows my mind.
That's me with
Welcome to RTS.
I don't fucking understand it.
Wild. Even the Fortnite builders, like the youngsters that just spin them up in a split second and edit windows and stuff, and I'm just like sitting here 5 minutes later still trying to get a roof on my like basic 4-wall structure.
I can change weapons.
Can't even make a door.
In the amount of time I change weapons, they built a 14-story apartment with 3 bathrooms. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Whoa,
I like
shit's
to call
getting
it
real in
5-story
Goob's
hotel
room.
simulator. No, we can't.
Goobs.
Net slip.
We can see you.
Thanks.
Look at his face. It's perfect. He's like.
Excuse me, younger brother.
Save.
Wow.
Sorry for the show, guys. Everyone can settle down now.
Okay, nothing happened. No one saw anything.
Not sorry.
Goobs officially has the most interesting room. Like earlier, Goobs, it looked like you were doing ballet behind on your bed or something before you exited the room. Now you got a half-naked man.
Mum called me on the phone, so I had to jump over the bed to fucking get out the door.
Fair enough.
Duly noted. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Does anyone else in chat have any more questions for these amazing Mixer creators? Might be time to start wrapping.
Yeah.
I think Carl asked earlier, need to work on interacting with chat more. How do you improve on that? Practice and keep talking. So you're never going to get used to the sound of your own voice. It's just not possible.
The worst.
And especially because it sounds different in your head than when you hear it back through a headset. So if you ever hear yourself in a recording backwards and you hear it back to yourself, you're like, who is that person? It's really weird.
Like I refuse to watch my VODs for that. I just don't. I hate listening to my
VODs. And as important as it is,
the best thing to do.
Yeah,
I have watched them for audio stuff, but
it's
hello.
It's not great, but just keep doing it. It's the kind of thing that the first 800 times it's going to feel awkward, but the 801st time it will be a little bit less awkward. And that's basically just keep doing that. And a lot of that is, as you build a community, you're going to be wanting to chat to people. And so you're going to stop forgetting that you're chatting to a camera and now you feel like you're chatting to a person. And a lot of people put tools in place to help them like that, like put a little face or googly eyes on their webcam to make it look like it's a face. If that helps you, do it. But just keep talking. Just keep talking.
Eye contact is something that is so underutilized in streaming. People come here for a personal connection. I feel like eye contact is so important with that. Just now and again, look up because like you were talking to people and it's more personable. Like, I feel like it's super important. You don't need to be like this all the time, you know, but like just now and again, just to remind people that, you know, you're a person. You're listening.
And because you're often looking at the chat window or something. So like, for instance, I'm looking where I look now if I'm reading a chat window, but you can see I'm not looking at the camera. So it looks like I'm not interested in talking to you because I'm looking away and talking to someone else. That's the appearance it has. But if I look up and go, no, that's a really great question, and that's why I'm talking to you, it gives that more idea that I actually am talking to you because you feel like I'm talking to you now. And that's just what we've got to do.
Yeah.
Turn
We've
around.
got three. We have three.
Man. yeah.
Behind your shoulder.
Thanks. How you doing?
Wouldn't be me.
It'd be so awkward.
All right.
Is it
we had one question
focused
come
on your
up
desk?
twice. All right, guys. So we've got one question that's come up twice. So we're all going to answer that as best we can. And then we have a couple of other questions as well. So the one that's come up twice is, what is your story behind why you got into streaming? So let's do like a round table. I feel like there's a few of us who haven't done a lot of talking today. So I'm going to throw some of you under the bus. Kit, let's start with you.
Do it.
First under the bus.
That's all right. I like being run over by the bus.
Beep, beep.
So last year I got into streaming on Twitch with my sister. So we kind of just had a discussion together and we wanted to start streaming together. So unfortunately, unlike Mixer, there's no co-streaming. So we were just kind of, you know, linking each other in our chats, and we started streaming Call of Duty. She kind of dwindled off a little bit. I stayed. I started playing a story-based game, and that's where I really built my community on Twitch. So that's kind of what got me started, I guess. I didn't really plan to do it. We kind of just had a conversation one day and went out and bought the PlayStation cameras and started. So very spontaneous. I like to do things at the last minute.
And what keeps you going?
Well, to be honest, I did stop streaming on Twitch. I got burnt out a little bit, so I've only just started streaming on Mixer now. And what makes me want to continue streaming is the community. So I built a lot of friendships over this last 8 weeks. You know, they're the people that come and support me. And my first stream last week, I didn't expect to have half that many people, but it's that kind of community and support that everyone shows on Mixer, which really keeps you going, I think.
Agree.
Amazing.
I think you'll find everyone says that.
Everyone does say that, but it's because it's true, right? Like everyone has when you go into chat and you're like, Mixer is an amazing community, everyone just pipes up and they're like, it's exactly why I'm here. So it's obviously resonates with everyone.
Yep.
Well, that's like Kit's first stream on Sunday last week.
Yeah.
I was watching Dash Cam Owners Australia. That's something I was watching every Sunday.
Well done.
It's so funny. But Maddie's messaged me and she's like, it's Kit's first stream and Mixer, come say hello. I was like, right, I jumped in there. I was in there for a while just talking shit like usual.
Yeah, like usual. I mean, what?
Doesn't sound unusual.
Thank you, Kit. And for the follow-up question, that was a great question. Kit, do you want to handball to someone else?
Sure. Let's go Molten.
Hey. Same question?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a bit awkward.
We're throwing each other under the bus.
A bit anxious. So the reason I got into streaming was just to, I guess, get myself out of that. Bit of practice and stuff. I originally started on watching streams when I was housebound for a couple of months. And then got to chatting to people, playing some games, and then started streaming from my Xbox from there. So, yeah.
Streaming's so great for confidence. Like, to be able to do it in the comfort of your own home as well. Like, I feel like a lot of people can really be their best self. And it's a fake it till you make it kind of situation as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I think it's a really good outlet for introverts as well to be a little bit more extroverted in a comfortable situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Who are you throwing under the bus?
Puppies.
Me, righto.
Bruce's face
It was so long ago.
just went down. It was like,
No, not me.
I gotta talk.
I just wanted to listen, you know. So I originally back before I started, I was playing a lot of Destiny, doing a lot of raids, all that kind of stuff, and I just liked hanging out with people, and I wanted to do that more. being that I quite enjoy playing single player stuff, it was kind of hard to hang out with people when you're playing single player. So looking at streaming, where it was, it's like sitting on the couch with your mate talking shit while you play video games, and that's kind of I enjoyed that. So I'll give it a shot. I'd seen it from a viewer perspective on Twitch. I'm like, it looks interesting. So I did that, and it just became this really good thing, right? I made some really good friends. We get together, hang out every night. I didn't have to leave the house. I don't have to spend that much money. And just have that kind of almost like that couch co-op experience, but with people from the other side of the world. And I think that's something really, really cool. It's just like connecting with people that you wouldn't normally be able to connect with.
Yep.
And words are hard. But yeah, just connecting with people and just having a chat. It's nice. I enjoy that.
Yeah, meeting people with the same passions and stuff. It's so hard in life. It really is. Like,
yeah,
so hard.
People
Especially
come here essentially for hospitality, 100%.
Hospitality, yeah. It's you working weird hours. I finish. I get home at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I leave for work at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm gone for a lot of the day. So I don't get that time to go out and be social, especially on weekends when I'm expected to be working.
Yeah.
Cheers.
That's me, by the way.
The given chat. That was amazing. Puppies, who you throwing under the bus?
Oh, let's throw Goobs under the bus.
Oh, fuck.
Sitting there quietly in the corner.
I obviously, when first coming to Mixer, I didn't really have an intention of streaming. I've done it time like here and there, but just mainly just because there's nothing else to do and I'm bored. But instead of like talking about why I chose to stream, I can tell you the reason I first came to Mixer was originally me and my friend were doing it as a joke and like going around into chats with the current nickname that I have.
Were you a troll?
Slightly, but no. It gets better. On the first day I was on Mixer, I came into the chat with my current like username into a guy playing a near soon-to-be partner playing Siege, and I just like said, I think if I can remember correctly, I said, "G'day, fleshy mammals." That was what I said. Don't know why. And then he was like, "Bro, I love your name." And then I got modded. First day I was on Mixer. I was like, okay, this is new. This is very odd.
After that.
Yeah. He was like, "Bro, I love your name. Do you like Siege?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like,
And
"Yeah."
you're like, did we just become best friends on the Instagram?
Did we just become best friends? Yeah.
Want to do drums in the garage?
Then
listening to One Direction.
I was too young then, Z. Come on, pipe down.
Yeah, sorry. The movie wasn't even out yet. So.
But then over time, I met, I don't know, I would think most of you would know or remember Shazbanger.
Yep.
The Rookie Train
I was
boys.
a big part of that community, but unfortunately all of them have sadly left the platform because of job commitments. But I just hung around there and then met most of the people here
behave yourself.
Through them. Met Z through them, met Tan through them, and then obviously by extension everyone else. So yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Huge network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Handball
Who you
groups.
voting?
Oh fuck, go Whippy.
Go Whippy Ranger. No, okay.
I'm much the same as Puppies, to be honest. When I first started, I started streaming on Twitch. And I always liked the thought of gaming and talking to people. So, and two of my mates actually told me, who I still get along with really well, told me that I should try streaming out. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And I started streaming. And I got affiliated and everything on there. Had a few subs, all that sort of shit. And then for all reasons in the world, I like the look of the UI on Mixer more, so I started watching Mixer more than I was watching Twitch. And I think Z was one of the first people I found on Mixer, like Australian streamers anyway, that I started actually watching. And then I moved over to Mixer. I was streaming for a bit, then obviously joined Mixer Down Under. Met a bunch of people, and yeah, just been streaming since then. And just built a community and everything on here, which I'm really liking.
Can I just say the UI is actually one of the reasons I came over to have a peek at Mixer as well. It's just so sleek, and it's why I started browsing in the first place. That's how I got sucked in. It was the
what
really
is
nice UI.
Twitch doing? It's so
messy. It's very clunky.
I got to say though, my big thing with Mixer is the front page is a lot of dead space since they changed it.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah, 100%.
Look, there's the fucking video player, and then just the text of who it is, and then dead space, nothing.
Especially it's a big learning experience for them. They're hearing the feedback.
I'm on a 3440 by 1440. It's ultra widescreen. Wow. So I mean, you guys can't see it.
3/4 of the page is probably just the background.
Pretty much. The actual video player is actually only in the center third. I've got enough to put 2 other video players side by side.
Yeah.
I do agree with
but that's just something
because
something that's myself has a really wide screen, but it's something that we probably, they do need more feedback on how to best use that space.
100% right. If like Mixer implemented some of the mod stuff that they have on there, such as like, I think they have chat logs on people. You can see the actions that have been taken on them, such as like timeouts and like purges and stuff. And if they can implement that somehow, oh my God.
Yeah, it's just a really good central place to manage your stream while you're live. I do agree. That was the only thing I liked about Twitch.
And the whisper and DM on Twitch as well.
I'd argue discoverability.
Whisper, please.
Yeah.
Discoverability definitely as well, because like I love that. I love the section they have, like if you liked this, you'll like this person, like
recommended for you.
Yeah, but again, there's years and years between the platforms.
Also, what happened with Up and Coming? It disappeared.
It is still there. It is still there.
It's not anymore.
It's just not on the front page anymore.
The URL is actually gone now.
Oh, they got rid of it.
I tried to access it the other day. It's completely new.
That's so sad. Yeah. That's how I found Georgie. That's how I found her. That's what I was like. Oh my God, it's a girl gamer. Oh my God, she plays PC. Oh my God, she's from Australia. We're best friends now. And then she's just like been here ever since. I just took her under my wing.
And it's been like the best thing ever. Very grateful.
Who are you throwing to next there, Whippy?
I'll throw you under the bus, Chalk.
Oh, thanks for that.
Got him.
No, nice, mate.
Nice.
It's an Aussie dab.
Don't ask, Angel.
No.
That's my troll.
That's the Aussie salute.
No, there's a story behind that one. We don't want to know it, okay?
We're not going there.
Moving on.
So I've been on Mixer for nearly 4 years now, when it was been previous to that. It's actually going to be 4 years next month, I think. What brought me to it? Yeah, I know, right? There's not a lot of people still left when I started. There's a few.
I was there back in the day, but on Xbox when it was just like
that
implemented.
doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't really count.
What brought me here was so I used to and still kind of run a fan website or fan forum for the Red Dead Redemption series, and we knew that Red Dead Redemption 2 had. We knew it was in production, hadn't really had any sort of ideas on release date, windows or anything like that, but we knew it was being made because it was sort of an open secret that it was on its way. And the community that I had on this forum with Red Dead Redemption 1 had a lot of like custom matches that they did with, they called it the hardcore league because it was the hardcore mode, where they just organized their own private matches and basically arranged this whole league and tournament just by themselves, just playing scratch matches every weekend. And it was super popular, lots of people involved in it. But in those times, there wasn't the ability to stream directly from an Xbox, or capture cards were very, very far and few between. Like you needed a lot of hardware to get a capture card. Now there's actually a lot of options for it. So I thought, come up with the idea going, well, in preparation for this, wouldn't it be great if we could get those same people to be able to start streaming and have like an esports style, organize some custom matches, have a few different point of views of people different streaming it, maybe get some kind of shoutcasting kind of stuff going, this could be something that's really great. We had no idea what the actual online mode or multiplayer would entail, but we wanted to at least be ready for all those kind of opportunities. So we started looking at all the opportunities for live streaming content out there and, looked at Twitch, how easy it to use and stream directly from a PlayStation or Xbox. Same thing with Xbox, thing with Mixer. And that's kind of lined up not too far before Mixer was acquired by Microsoft and then got built into the Xbox OS system. And we're going, well, this is really easy for a lot of these, players that with 2 clicks of a button could start recording their content. So I started, checking out Mixer more and more. And after a few weeks, I realized I was, no longer spending any time watching TV when I got home from work. I was watching streams and I was, having, conversations with these people. And the immediate reaction of, being accepted into this family and being introduced to all these things. And I remember, I think it must have been Glitchy, amazing content creator. He does a lot of GTA roleplay stuff at the moment. But back in the day, it was all PUBG. And when PUBG was first come out and it was super popular, it was the only game anyone was talking about. This is before Fortnite this is even before Fortnite Save the World was released. So Fortnite Battle Royale wasn't even a little sparkle in Daddy's eye.
I think so.
Yeah. So, it was all anyone was talking about. Watched it, just loved watching him and Cabby and some of these guys play those kind of games and just being able to chat to them as they're playing and go, oh, bad luck. Oh, where did that guy come from? Oh, I think he probably came from that house over there. And being able to talk to someone. And it's, and when I've had to describe it to people in my real world that I don't understand streaming, the way I describe it is, imagine you're watching a football match or something. But during the football match, you got to go to that player and go, nice tackle, mate. It's kind of that interactive thing where they're really good at the game or, really entertaining, but you get to talk to them and they will talk to you back. And from there, I just sort of started watching more and more content creators to the point where I'm like, well, I don't really want to watch much TV anymore because I'm enjoying myself a lot more watching live content, talking to these people that I'm watching and actually, being involved. And from that, just getting more and more involved in the community. And because for the first 3 years or so that I wasn't with the
I was catching up on chat now.
Yeah, I just saw it, Carl. And getting more and more involved in the community. And because I wasn't able to stream for the first 3 or so years that I was with the platform, because internet
Australia
delayed 8 times. So I took that time and I had 3 years worth where I could go, okay, I've got a lot of time, and I was able to build up my streaming rig and get bits and pieces at a slow rate rather than having an initial out cost of thousands and thousands of dollars. I was able to just build this over a course of a couple of years. And with that, build a lot of knowledge and tips from people who had been in the industry for a lot longer than I had, but also new people that were just discovering streaming themselves. And that's kind of where I've come from in terms of trying to, help the community as much as I can and help content creators because, I've been there, done that. I can't tell you the amount of times I've redone my audio because I've got 2 PCs and getting the audio across both of them. I can't tell you how many sleepless nights I've had thinking of that. But I've taken away from that going, well, if I can help someone else, not lose sleep over those kind of issues, that's where I get my joy from it. Even if I'm not directly making a lot of content myself, I'm a mod for I've been a mod for over a dozen different streamers or more at least, and help out wherever and whenever I can. And if I don't know the answer, I'm the kind of person that's going to go and try and search for that answer and go, I'm not sure how we can do that, but let's try. Let's try and work out how those kind of options, what we can actually do to get that same kind of effect. And at one point, I even learnt parts of can't remember what language it was I even learned, but it was part of a scripting language I had no experience in, but I was able to piece it together from other parts around the world that are all available online. And what it did is made a command in chat that all it did was you would go and type Steam and Limbo or something as a game name, and then the chat bot would respond back to with the name, how much it is, and a link to purchase it in the store. So if you were talking about a game and go, oh, I saw this awesome game on Steam the other day, and you put a link to it and it had all the details. But I had to make an actual script to pull that information out of the Steam's like API system, because they're kind of not very helpful sometimes. But that wasn't necessarily available to us. But I've gone, well, just go search for a solution, and if you can find one, great, share it with the world. And I've always been a big promoter of, if you know something, okay, yes, I know streaming can be a competitive market and you want to be better than that person and want to be better than that person. But I've always been in the mindset, like, you've all got a common goal. If you've got, you've got some knowledge that might actually legitimately help someone, why wouldn't you want to share it? Lift people up. So yeah, that's where I come from.
Quite an awesome story. Thanks for sharing.
Now who are you throwing under the bus?
Let's throw the devil under the bus.
Oh, me.
I think it's not the devil's here.
The original question was, how do I get into streaming? I was scrolling through Facebook. I didn't know anything about Mixer. I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this amazing streamer playing PUBG. And I was pretty good at PUBG at the time when it first came out. So to my horn, I was like 94th in the Oceanic server. But anyway, so I basically was talking to this guy and I started typing to him. His name is DZ. I don't know if anyone of you knew him. He was on Mixer. He's now on Twitch, but he was on Mixer and he got me into his channel. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show this guy really how to play, seriously, because I was really better than him. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get into his stream. So I did. And he started calling me Sarah Connor because I would just go in there and kill him. And he's like that going like, come on, and I'd just go in there and do it. Come on, DZ, let's go. And he was just like, yeah, he was really, really impressed with how I played it. So I was streaming with him on his stream, not as in streaming, but just with him on his streams, and pretty entertaining. And he's pulled me aside. He said, you need to stream. You need to do this. He was a partner streamer on Mixer at the time. He's like, you need to do this. You've got the personality. You've got this. You've got that. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, he got me into it, and I haven't looked back. I got partnered playing PUBG. That was my game when I first started. I think I started in, it was 6 to 8 months, I think, after I started, I was partnered. So it wasn't that long before I actually got partnership with that particular game. And it was all I played was PUBG. And then I moved on to Sea of Thieves. I moved on to Realm Royale. I moved on to other games as well. And I've just basically broadened my community from that. But yeah, just DZ was the guy who got me there.
Quick follow-up question. Have a devil theme. Where did this come from? Because I got a halo here, so we're kind of yin and yang at this point.
Need to get from you and separate you or something.
I've always had the name. Well, it used to be okay. You guys, I'm novel. I'm 40 plus, so we used to game. Yeah, we used to game in Yahoo Pool. Right, and when I was playing Yahoo Pool, flashbacks. And I had the name called SW Little Devil. And then I couldn't get the Little Devil in Mixer, so I added Tan to the end of it. But my personalized number plates are Tan 666. So it's just always been Little Devil Tan, and I've just gone with that.
Cool.
Yeah. So I've had it for years.
Actually, I have a little follow-up question before you throw the bus at Z, because I think she's the last one. How did everyone get their names? Like, I know Tanny just answered that question.
Well, that's just mine.
Yeah.
Very long.
So mine has to do with one of my names has that on it. So it's always been my nickname at school because, say your last name's Stevenson, I get called Steve-O all the time. Yeah. It's something like it's a similar thing to that without actually revealing my last name. And so I've always been called Chalk or Chalks, So yeah.
It's Chalkington, isn't it?
Yes, my name is Bruce. My name is Bruce Chalkington. And I'm from Wembley.
I really hope it's not that, and I just blew your cover because I have no idea.
I don't know any Chalkingtons.
Okay. Yes, exactly, Lama. That's what I was thinking of.
Lord Chalkington the Third.
My name just worked out really well. It's plateaued into this really awesome thing, pure happenstance. There was this internet meme like 2 years ago. Some kid on Reddit was telling his broken heart love story about his girlfriend, and he misspelled girl as GRIL. And for whatever reason, that spun up this internet meme about gamer grills. So anytime I'd play like on voice comms in Overwatch, people would be like, "Oh my God, is that a grill?" Or they'd type, "Is that a grill?" And I'd be like, what is happening? And it was happening enough that I Googled it because it was a pattern. It was so consistent over the course of a few months that I'm like, there's something here and I want to learn more. So when I learned about it, and it coincided with the fact that in Overwatch, I was at 2K in competitive ranked modes. That's gold. I was at the higher end of gold. And I had a really bad run in 4 days straight, and I tilted. And instead of being responsible and logical and stop playing and coming back to strike, I just kept going and going and going and going. And I went from 2K to 1200 in a matter of 4 days, which what happened was it broke my MMR. And when you hit that bad run, it's basically impossible to climb out. So I needed to create an alt account so I could rebuild. And I won't tell you about the time that I repeated the same mistake twice in a row. And now I can't play on my alt account either, but that's beside the point. I saw an opportunity to embrace this gamer grill meme, and I called myself George Foreman GRL. And I chose GRL because it works both for grill and girl. And the rest is kind of history. Like, it's just been this really awesome, fun way that through streaming I've been able to turn into a brand that is quite, I guess, marketable in a sense. There's a lot of fun things that we can do, lots of fun slogans. It's say things like "you just got grilled," GFG, George Foreman Grill, also works for good effing game, and stuff like that. So yeah, really, yeah, Sammy, hey Sammy. The Grill Squad, the George Foreman Grill. So that's the origin of my name. Has nothing to do with my IRL name whatsoever.
Nice. Kit?
Oh, mine's really boring. My name's actually super, super old. I made it up when I was about 16, when I was just getting into Counter-Strike. And like I actually just wanted... No, I just wanted a single, like, one-word name that I could use. And so I just kind of started Googling things, and my name ended up being a mashup of Kitana and Atari. Not because I significantly love either of them. It just sounded cool. I don't even, like, I've never even played an Atari before. It just, yeah.
There you go. I can tell mine, like, I'll tell it with my whole thing. So leave me last.
Okay. Llama?
The Xbox gamertag creator.
What?
Literally.
JB Molson Llama.
Mm-hmm. It did indeed.
No numbers or anything.
Hey, boys,
that's amazing.
we got one.
Generator stuck. Yeah, wow. That's rare. That's rare.
Like
That's me on Xbox though. I stuck with my one.
That's awesome. I've always wondered how you could use that.
You made it your own. There you
Oh
go.
God, you guys aren't going to like this story.
Uh-oh.
So
originally,
a long time ago, I lost my Xbox account through a transfer, from the 360 to the newer 360, the Elite. So I had to start all over again, and I couldn't think of anything. And for whatever reason, at the time, young 18-year-old me came up with dead puppies. And
did you say deaf puppies or dead?
Dead.
DED,
Dead.
and puppies still spelled as it is. It was funny. It was it got people talking. It was kind of hilarious. I like the whole shock factor. It was good. A little bit of both. I'm gonna be honest, but
Are you sure you don't know that story about your cats guy?
I mean, maybe. Look, maybe we should get to know each other. So I had that gamer tag for 6 years. And then playing Destiny Crucible one day, I teabagged the wrong clan way too many times, and they got their entire clan to mass report me.
Oh.
And then Microsoft hit me up with a forced name change. I'm like, I'd been grown so attached. I was so synonymous with dead puppies at that time. Like, if I changed anything else, no one would know what the fuck it was. So I was having this like identity crisis. I'm like, what do I do? And so I decided to keep puppies because clearly that is okay by Microsoft standards. And deft is to be good with one's hands. And given I'm a chef, it kind of makes sense. It's also ironic because I'm terrible at video games. So it just kind of stuck.
Best origin story ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to top that?
Well, you said,
I cannot
I got so
that, and
synonymous
I'm
with dead
lost.
puppies.
Right. So, on to me. Right. So, mine was started.
I was really worried about that gift for a second, Llama. I was like, what's going to come out of that trunk? Or what's not going to come out of that trunk, more specifically?
It's Chef Puppy.
So, I always used to go by my old Xbox name, sort of the same way that Molten Llama got his. I got mine originally just from the name generator, which was originally Alarming Crab 2, and that's my name that I still use on Xbox to this day. But one day, me and my friend thought it would be a fun idea, sort of relating back to how I got onto Mixer, to make some accounts with memes as the end of the name and after dev companies. So he did Rockstar after, obviously, the makers of GTA. And I did Ubisoft because it was what one of my favorite YouTubers at that time used to call Ubisoft in his YouTube videos because they always were making mistakes, obviously. So I just chucked that on the front and it's always stuck. So there you go.
Fair enough.
Mine started from my footy days. I somehow, I don't know why, I got the nickname Whippy though, because I used to jump I used to run around and I used to be able to get away from people pretty quickly. So they always just started calling me Whippy. And when I first got my Xbox, I made the name, it was just Whip, started off as Whip, then I made it Whippy. And then for some reason, I don't know why, I had an XD at the end of it, and it's been that since for everything.
Did you go through
from
a PlayStation phase at all? Is that related?
No.
Was there a Disney thing? There was a Disney XD.
I don't know. Was
I
it?
have no
it was.
idea.
I'm probably
it's
young
a
enough
Disney
to
channel.
confirm that.
The only thing I can't have with the XD on anymore is the PSN because I forgot the password and I can't remember what email I used.
Well done.
Yeah.
Who was still up for
Z.
Z.
Z and
We've missed her a few times.
Georgie?
Oh, yeah.
My name's an easy one. I've had it for as long as I can remember, pretty much when online gaming began and you had to create your first username. Because obviously my real name is Zoe. So it's a play on words as well. Like my nickname was always ZB. That was because of my surname,
Zoe.
which we won't say, but Z-Dog. Yeah, anyway. So it's it's a play on like Missy, but Miss Z, and it just has kind of stuck. It's not too crazy. Yeah, there you go. Story of my life.
I reckon hands down, Deaf Puppies had the best one.
Dead puppies.
Yeah,
They're my best.
Never say, you can never say that dead puppies had the best. Nothing.
Oh yeah.
No.
Not out loud.
Well, not out
Not
loud.
out loud.
Just quietly. Just DMB, it's fine.
Missy's origin story. Let's go.
You're under the bus. How long have you been with Mixer? And
He's been hiding it.
Mine's a little bit of a Debbie Downer, I guess. But if we focus on the end of it, it's okay. But I've gamed as long as I can remember. It's always been like my little escape from reality. I had a tough upbringing, and how I got to here was kind of tough as well. I had a lot of death in my life, and then I moved states with my 2 kids and my now ex-partner. Anyway, so I was gaming pretty hardcore when I was going through a separation, and I had a friend at the time was just like, why don't you try streaming? And I was like, okay. And then I just tried it one day and it just sort of went from there. And I think it saved my life in a lot of ways. Like I'm very isolated in the state I'm in now. I don't have any friends or family here. a single parent, so it was my outlet, like, for adult conversation, and I've met a lot of people that have the same passions as me, and it's just been like very therapeutic for me. I have a lot of like mental health problems as well, like anxiety and depression, and obviously all those things, and it's really just helped me be like the best version of myself. I'm in the comfort of my own home. I've met some amazing people, and yeah. That's why I keep at it as well.
No, that's a great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still remember when I first had come over to Mixer, like Z was one of the first streamers. I jumped in the stream and started getting to know her and everything. And then I think it was when after I joined Mixer Down Under, I'd wake up the next day and seen she followed me on Twitter. I was like, well, this is like a little fangirl moment. Put it on Twitter.
I've made it, Mum. Follow me.
I'm get the camera. It still blows my mind to this day that people like me and follow me and come and see me every day for me. Like, I am literally me. Probably the best version of myself, and it blows my mind that people keep coming and supporting me for that. And
the one thing I like about watching Z's streams, I like when she's playing a specific game, like Death Stranding or something like that. You know when she's about to cry, like you know it's happening, and you know it's happening. So you just sit there like, here it goes.
Shut up. I have feelings. People like to believe that I'm this, stone cold bitch. But yeah, no, I'm human too, guys.
I don't know. I think I don't know. It's not just you, but a lot of Australian streamers like are very no bullshit, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them just will tell you what they are. Especially like a lot of people I've watched that have been Australian have always been like, they will tell you whatever, like what's on their mind. And I think that's like a good, like if you be yourself, that's always going to like end up being better for you. Because then your audience get to know you better.
Yeah. I think that's just a cultural thing as well, though. That's Australians in general. Yeah.
But that's the same as like we were talking about earlier with the trolls and everything. Like, if a troll comes into my stream, I play with them. Like, they say something, and I'll pull their words, what they've said, and just spit it back at them. It's like, don't try it. I don't care.
Perfect example this morning. I was moderating for someone that was doing a charity stream this morning, and so they had quite a lot of people coming in because there was a special event that they did for Destiny with Bungie, raising money, whatnot, where you had to go and try and queue in at the same time as these guys and win the match, and you get a special in-game emblem to use. So a lot of people are coming that are brand new to Mixer, are only here to know when they've got to queue in properly. Guy comes in, posting only the robot emotes, like 10 of them, like 3 measures of that. And I'm like going in this guy's, chat, he's, we should go, okay, tell him, no, that's not really what, try some words. Have some, the emotes, you're using a lot of them. That's actually getting deleted by the bot. Try using some words. And so he responded, robot, robot, robot. And I'm like going, you know what? I know you're trolling, but I'm going to pay that. Well done. I'm actually quite proud of you because that was clever. And at least if you're a clever troll, I don't mind you so much.
Yeah.
You got to know how to troll right. Like people that just come in and just like give you shit, like that gets like, you get over that quite quickly. People who like sort of like are more humorous at it, I think that's a lot better. Like, but then usually they're just nice people. So that's how I see it, at least.
Missy, I got booted from the.
Yeah, I closed it because you said I needed to invite F puppies.
Yeah, got to close one before you invite this
I
one.
thought it was already there. Oh, I am already there.
Yeah, I like what Goog was saying before, though. I think there's nothing worse you could do than. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but there's nothing worse you could do is start streaming and not be yourself, because you're not going to have fun acting. Like it's not. We're not making an episode of a TV show. Like I know we were saying before, like it's like a TV show. You're not acting to make your content. You're being yourself to make your content.
Unless you're going for a
unless
Dr.
you're going
disrespect
like Dr. Disrespect, yeah.
Yeah, character streaming's like a whole different ballpark too. Like, if you're going to invest in that, you got
to do it right to be a character streamer. Like Doc hits it on the head because he's both like charismatic and all that, and then he gets angry and bullshits all around. But he's also good at the game, so he's also like good at most games. So he's got that side to it as well. So like he's like the perfect example, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, you got to understand that there's Dr. Disrespect, and then there's a human that is playing that character. And he is very much a character. You know, that's not what he's like in real life. Yeah. Now, he's made mistakes in his real life, but, you know, how he acts in real life, how he acts as Dr. Disrespect can be completely different. And so you see Dr. Disrespect on Twitter, you know, trashing certain games and companies and being really controversial. But behind the scenes, he's obviously got a professional thing with some of these businesses to organize contracts where he can't go into a contract signing and be his Dr. Disrespect, you know. So there is a bit of that behind it as well. Got Mazzy joining us for a bit.
Ooh,
Mazzy.
I tried sending a co-stream invite. I'll see if I can spin it up.
Okay.
Red. Apparently my audio is broken on my stream. I hope that's not the case.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, that's cool. My story, I guess, is a little bit, well, it's quite similar to Z's actually, but backdating before streaming, gaming, and specifically World of Warcraft saved my life. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but what that opened up, so I came from a very good, like I had wonderful parents, had everything a very loving home, had everything I ever needed in terms of physical objects, but for whatever reason, like I was just that kid that was always bullied, and we're talking bullying from prep. So I was never able to connect with people in a physical sense. I was always bullied in high school and even, later years in primary school and beyond. Like I would literally sit like in bathrooms at lunch break just to hide from like people around me. It was a really tough time. Now I want to preface that by saying that it's allowed me to grow into who I am, and that's someone that I'm very proud of, and I'm grateful for the shaping experiences that got me here. So this is not a sad story, it's just my origin story. And so when I encountered World of Warcraft, the concept of gaming, it took me a bit to sort of be open-minded to that space. My ex was sadly in the very negative addicted sense. He lost his job. He used to lock himself in his room and just play WoW 24/7. But there was a really happy period in which I was introduced to the concept of gaming in an online space. And at the time, I saw it as a blank canvas for, okay, I don't feel like I can be I don't even know who I am in this world. I would constantly change my personality to extremes depending on who I was engaging with online or even offline, like in the real world, to try and find a connection with people and friends. And it was really tough, and I didn't know who I was. And so when I found this canvas of WoW, it just gave me an opportunity to say, okay, you know what, online, I'm going to be this confident person. No one knows who I am. They don't know my backstory. I want to give myself an opportunity to be who I wish I could have been in high school with friends. And I think because I was female, and back then female gamers were less common, I was fortunate. I didn't get trolls. I just got I'll be really honest, was fed a lot of attention. People wanted to talk to me. They wanted to do raids with me. They wanted me to be in their guilds. They wanted to be friends with me and hang out with me. And I genuinely never experienced that ever in my entire life. And so it opened up this world of Warcraft that I had to, guys. I'm sorry. Where I was social, I was making friends, and all over the world. It honest, hand on heart, saved my life. It changed my life, and I realized over time that what I didn't create for myself was a persona or an alias. That journey was me discovering who I was. That's who I was all along, but finding myself through WoW allowed me to find myself in real life, and I started coming out of my shell. I started figuring out what I believed in, like what were my beliefs, what were my morals, what clothing style do I like, what music do I like. It's totally Taylor Swift and Jonas Brothers.
Yes for the first one, no for the second one.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Love me some Tay-Tay.
So kind of flash forward, and this is going back 14 years now. I met my husband. We've been together 12 years. I met him in World of Warcraft. And so gaming, and through that lens, even to this day, like, I have work colleagues. I don't have real world friends. Like, I'm a very social person. I'm a very confident person now. I do still struggle with depression and anxiety and confidence issues, but for the most part, I feel fairly grounded, and I'm successful in my career. But I don't have, like, I didn't get to meet childhood friends in school and stuff. So I have my online family, and that's you guys, and that's my community in streaming and those that I play video games with. That's my social connection to the world, very similar to me. And I was really hesitant to get into streaming initially because I was afraid of, I'm not very good. I'm not skilled at games. So what could I offer the world that was worthy of your viewership? Essentially was my barrier into streaming. And then when Mixer came about, I learned about Mixer because of Shroud. It was everywhere, right? Like, it blew up the media. So I learned about Mixer through that, his transition into the platform. And what resonated with me was learning that Microsoft were building a community, supportive, inclusive, zero tolerance for trolling and disrespectful behavior. And I, coupled with a few friends who did some co-streaming with me when I first got started, gave me that tipping point into this space, because I felt like for a really long time, like, I've always wanted to write a book about my journey and my story into gaming. There's a lot of stuff that, I haven't touched on now. It's some pretty dark stuff. So I feel like there's a lot that I could help others with and create that sense of, like, that was such an amazing, life-changing experience for me, and there would be so many people out there in the world that would be going through similar things. Can I create a place that's home and safe and supportive, but inspiring, educational, and yeah, like, that's kind of why I got into streaming, and Mixer was just the most wonderful entry point I ever could have asked for. And I again, to preface what everyone else has said, once you experience this platform as a viewer or as a streamer or both, you'll feel exactly the same way. It's a sense of community that it's unlike anything else. And I'm so I'm so humbled to be a part of that, and to have found you folks through Missy. I didn't know that you existed. And I was feeling a little bit isolated and starting to question myself, because I'm not skilled and I don't fully know what it is that I can offer the world yet, but I know that there's something there, and I'm still exploring something is.
This is home.
That's a great story.
I feel like that's what a lot of people make their, like, I know there's a lot of people that probably don't either, but I know there's a lot of people that make their streams and make their community so it is their world out of the world sort of thing. No, they can sit here and they know they're not going to get called names. They're not going to.
Safe space,
yeah. Yeah, it's a safe space. They can come in here and they know they're going to not going to get put down. They're not going to feel that stuff like that. That's one thing I feel very strongly about is bullying. Like, I've always hated it, and I've always stood up for people in that aspect. Like, there's trolling, then there's bullying. There's a pretty fine line between them, and that's like, personally, that's what I make my community for. I want it to be a safe space. I want people to come in there and know that there's not going to be, there might be trolling, there might be laughs and everything, but there's not going to be bullying. You're not going to come in there. Yeah. You're not going to go in there and be made to feel like a piece of shit sort of thing.
Yeah, if I think really long-term and aspirational, if I could get to a place where I feel like my voice can make a difference in the world. So there's obviously differences that we can make today in people's lives in a one-on-one capacity, and that's something that I'm very aware of, and something that Talk touched on at the very beginning of our stream around we control whether we can give someone the best part of their day versus, their worst. But if I think aspirationally about what I hope to be able to achieve at some point on this journey is inspiring younger generations to be kind and to understand bullying more fully, and to teach, to work with schools, maybe have be guest speakers at schools and talk to kids and about the value of gaming and online and the online space, and how that can help you grow and evolve, but also the ramifications and understanding of bullying. And then the third part would be if you find yourself in that situation, how you can protect yourself and grow from that and not let it control who you are or define who you are, but allow you to grow and make your own decisions on how you handle that. And so that for me would be my biggest aspirational part is, can I find a way at some point on my journey to help change the narrative? I think especially now more than ever with social media and the internet being so prominent from such a young age, kids are so impressionable. A lot can go wrong, and I think that there's a lot of people who have the ability that can change that narrative, and I'd like to be one of those people.
I think one thing that a lot of people need, like mainly the bullies, need to really think about and understand though, is the mental health is a real thing. One thing that you say to one person may not upset them, but that you might push the next person to not want to be here and all that sort of stuff. That anything you say to anyone can be taken in different ways, and it's something you need to think about before saying stuff. Like I've had numerous friends on the phone of a night time at weird hours in tears just because they've had something said to them and they just don't want to do anything anymore. And like, that's the worst part about it. It's just one thing that's one person said that's triggered something.
It can overshadow. It's sort of like the straw that breaks the camel's back. And that's something that I try and remember. And I think we should all try and remember is we all have a backstory. So you think about the stories that were shared today, we all have a backstory. We all have triggers and we all have breaking points. And we have no idea if that one small thing we say is someone else's breaking point. And it's hard to keep that in mind. It's really difficult, and that's a lot of pressure on us. That means that we're overthinking a lot. But when I'm out in the street, if someone's rude to me, I work in customer service or I design customer experiences. So dealing with people on a mass scale is something that I do by day and by night. And when there is someone that's frustrated with me or they're being rude, I sometimes imagine a story, even if it's not true. But I think about what led that person to this point and how can I try and change it. When I worked in retail, I wrote a blog piece about this, a simple random act of kindness I did for someone, helping her find a pair of jeans. It changed her life. I never would have imagined that, but that was a milestone moment for me as a human, realizing the power that we have every single day in every engagement, every conversation that we have. We can make a difference, and that difference could be positive or it could be negative, and we have no idea. And it's hard to be aware of that, but when you're aware of it, that's when you can make real change and make a real difference.
I feel so sorry for people at the moment that work in retail. Like 3 weeks ago now, I was at Woolworths just doing my shopping, and because of like all the restrictions and everything going on at the moment, you can only buy 2 tins or 3 tins or whatever it is. And I was behind this bloke and I was loading up the carousel thing, and he went off at this girl, and he was absolutely going off just because he couldn't get 3 tins of beans. And I'm looking at him, and he's going off. And this girl it was probably like an after school job. She looked like she was probably 16 or 17, and he was going off at her. And I put my stuff down, looked at him, and I said, "Mate," and he looked at me, and I just said, "Shut the fuck up." And he's like, looked at me and said, "What was that?" And I said it again, and he's like, "Oh. And I was like, "It's not her fault you can't get your food. Don't go off at her." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." And he put his tin down, and he ended up storming off. And I went up, and she just looked at me and said, "Thank you." I said, "Don't worry about it. He's a tosser. He deserves it."
Yeah. Big topic. It's a big kind of heavy way to end that questionnaire. But we do have Mazzy who's joined, who might like to share her origin story and name story.
I'll just throw her under the bus entirely.
So how long have you been on Mixer? How'd you get here? How'd you find out about it, and why are you sticking around?
We got here because of Scopic. Scopic started on Twitch and moved over here, and nightlife obviously copies whatever his cousin does. So we moved over here and found the community. Got told to follow all these Aussies, and pretty much that's how it all started.
Mazzy and I met each other through Mixer DownUnder.
I don't know who Whippy is.
Yeah, that's rude.
Sure, which you don't.
Nice.
It's been so nice, like watching the blossoming relationship, like between you guys. Like, it's so sweet, in a platonic way, of course. Yeah, but like it's just friends. The friendships I've seen come from this platform has been amazing. Like, and
definitely,
Georgie and I is like I've really clicked with her, and I've only just met her a few weeks ago. You know, so.
That's like
it's so nice, and all you guys. I should say, I'm sorry. Yeah. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of you guys as well. You know, and I was looking forward to it again this year, but who knows what's happening now? But
as of earlier this week, they're still currently working towards that, October date. We'll see. Will be to be advised.
Because there's a good chance, I think. Because we're going to be pulling out of restrictions in the next 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea though.
I was reading somewhere before. I don't think they're lifting some restrictions, but I don't think they're lifting.
It'll be
it's going to be very like slowly.
10 at your house.
I don't even think 10. They'll probably go like you're allowed one other person that's non-family in your house. Like, there's a different like what they're doing like in some of the European countries. I think Spain's already starting to lift like some of the retail stuff. Like some of their restrictions there, and I know some places in America, which is the epicenter right now.
I mean, we're not going to judge ourselves by what America's doing.
Yeah, true. But
get some real quick. I'll be back.
No, but I think lifting restrictions and that sort of stuff, you got to do it very slowly.
Yeah,
we have to be super careful because we've basically gone for an eradication mode, and once we start integrating back into society, like. Well, I think we'll be okay, but our international borders are likely going to be cut. I mean, I'm pretty sure the already said they'll be cut.
Yeah, 12 to 18 months, I think they said.
Yeah, because we're no longer getting cases from...
mostly community.
Inside. Yeah, they're all coming from outside.
International travelers,
current people that have it, there's like about 1,200 or so active cases at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's down to... basically zero, more or less. Only people that are basically still in isolation, then they can start looking at going, okay, how long can they maintain that? And then be sure, okay, we're pretty sure that most of the community's not got it. Start opening up some stuff slowly and just see how that reacts.
I think
because the instant that starts going back up, they'll have to go back to isolation methods, and they don't want to end everything.
Yeah.
Then 2 weeks later go, oh, crap. Yeah, 2 weeks later go, crap, now there's 1,000-something cases.
It's a completely like unprecedented event. People like who like are all upset about this, obviously no one's going to be happy about this whole thing. No one like in this generation has gone through this ever. So you just got to like just go with it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we're on like.
Sorry.
I was talking about South Australia. We've been especially lucky here. I think we only had one case this week, one new case, and it was from international. So, and I'd say we're on our last leg of international.
Shoot him.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So my son's going to be going back to school on Monday. And my daughter will go back to daycare. But yeah, she's going to be educated. Stay educated.
At this point, it's mostly at the moment the big ones that are concerning is New South Wales
and Victoria.
Well, actually, Victoria's only got about 68 active cases now. Like they've got not much left.
Let's go.
It's more concerned with the Tasmania, how they had that outbreak in the northwest that they're trying to make sure that.
We won't talk about Tasmania.
Who cares?
We know what's. We know what's. We know how it's spreading so quickly over there.
It's droplet based, right?
Whippy. It's kind of hard to social distance from your second head, buddy. It's all right.
I think it's mostly obviously New South Wales that once that gets, it's like got 750 odd cases at the moment.
Oh, no, do we? That's a good question.
What are you doing, Georgie?
Once it's down
doing something.
It's showing.
I thought that was me.
We're getting shit on by bloody.
My stream was messing
You're
up.
seeing my secrets. No, I'm saving a couple of images for us to share if we want to.
Keep going.
Can you not save the one that has me looking like an idiot?
Yeah, can we at least be aware so we can pull our best, like, can you get
Okay,
me
No.
outside,
we'll do it at
please?
the
Get my
end.
good
We'll do it
side.
at the end.
You don't get that choice.
My good
You
side.
have
or
to
nothing.
warn us, God.
I'm
Wait.
sorry. Like that, you don't get the funny candid shots. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I
someone
still
else do
feel
it.
Where's Mumbo? There he is. Myself.
We'll do it at
I
the
still
end.
remember, like Z saying before, like meeting like people from Mixer Down Under. Like,
That's awesome.
obviously, I met Maz through Mixer Down Under, and we got along really well. Still do. And I still
Okay.
remember the first time meeting her. I drove down to Brizzy, and I'm standing in the shopping centre. And I was like, "All right," and I think we decided like 9:30 or something. So I got there a little bit earlier, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. She's like, "Is she even coming?" Like, so I just get stood up.
I stood him
I'm
up.
just stand there waiting, and she's like, messaged me. She's like, "I'm here," and she's like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't live here. I'm outside JB Hi-Fi."
I was an hour late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have
No,
another
it's-
question I noted from earlier. It's been probably about an hour since we answered the last question. It took us a while to get through that one.
It took a while to get through the origin stories.
It did. That was
How long the
a
Marvel
big
did.
question.
It took a bit.
We probably should have maybe started the night with that. So the question was, is there a right way to go about backdrops in terms of natural versus green screen? And I think that there's pros and cons or different use cases as well. There's a variable for
I
having
think-
both. So
I started with no green screen. Now I've gone to green screen, and I want to go back to no green screen. So I don't
And
know.
why
It's
is
preference.
Yeah, I've
think
done
some-
both.
I think sometimes I feel like doing it, sometimes I don't feel like doing it. Like I'd like to have ultimately I'd like to have like the nano leaves and all that sort of stuff. But like Chalk's been having 1,000,001 questions from me the last couple of days because Mazzy pointed out a lot in one of my streams that my lighting was really bad for because I moved. My lighting was really bad for my green screen because it was all blurry and fuzzy. So I went and bought another light, and then it was like just shining off the green screen. And I got the shits with it, and I messaged Chalk. I was like, "What is going on?" He's like, "Use baking paper." I was like, "Okay." But
I have baking paper on my lights.
if I'd like to go back to having, like, sort of like what Z and Kit have in their backs, like having the boxes and lights and all that stuff, where it looks really cool. As at the moment, it's just a wall, and it was boring, so I've got the green screen up, but.
I use
Yeah, I
both
think
though. So when I'm playing more story orientated games that have like a lot more visual sort of things, I'd use my green screen. When I'm playing casual games like Apex or fun with friends or whatever, I just tend to do this.
Casually?
Yeah.
But you guys didn't look very casual last night.
We'll remind it every time you start raging in it. We'll remind you, hey, this is casual.
Just casual.
Please, you haven't seen me at my best.
Will we though?
God, I was devastated. I got so tilted at our last game last night.
But I think it's another way to show off your personality and your interests, like with this sort of stuff. That's what I love about mine. Like, this is my nerd cave, So I do like showing off my stuff, and it can be a good topic start, like a good conversation starter in stream. They can be like, "Hey, is that a companion cube up there? Do you like Portal? Like, do you know what I mean?" So, yeah, but it's really preference, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
I
have
wanna
noticed,
do.
Z.
Yeah, definitely.
I have noticed that your that dude you got for your birthday is no longer in the cubes. Why is that?
So my kids were asking about it. So.
Okay.
Wait, what was it? I'm missing context. What is it?
Last year for my birthday, someone sent me a novelty blow-up doll.
Oh my god!
He's here somewhere. He's over there.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Me neither.
I'm relieved. I'm relieved.
It was hung off it was hung off one of the cubes, and I was just sitting there.
about it.
Look at his Willie. His name's Leroy.
Jenkins?
Well
Jesus,
hung.
fuck.
Leroy
That's
is well
beautiful.
hung.
I love it.
He said,
Oh, well.
Oh boy.
When you see your kids, your little children running around with a miniature blow-up doll asking, "Mom, what's this?"
It's a tail, guys.
I think it's time to put it. No, they said, "Why does he have 3 legs?" Why does he have 3 legs, Mum?
You've got a little boy. Surely
Yeah,
he
so that's about
recognises-
the time that you pack it up and put it away,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, Newton. I
Or
thought
you
the
put a
same thing,
decorative
Newton.
party hat on there.
Yeah, hang something on it. Oh, God.
Air freshener.
I share the
There's
sentiment.
a black ice tree.
Headphone holder.
Yes.
It's like it sits at your front door and you like chuck your keys on it when you come in.
Coat hanger.
It's fucking coat hanger.
Oh, stop
have you
it.
seen
Could be a light
this
switch if
mic-
she tried hard enough.
These mic stand tries to get frisky with her. I've been seeing that a lot lately.
Oh, yeah, because I don't know if you guys have this issue. I recently upgraded my microphone and it's a lot lighter than my old one. And it's a spring boom arm, so it goes by
no.
weight. So it's
Attach
constantly like,
weights to it.
it's got a mind,
Fuck.
Seriously, get a
mind
couple
of
of like
its
heavy, like
own. Yeah, I
get
need
some
to
magnets
put,
or some heavy batteries or something, and just
Yeah.
tape it to it.
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do. Yep.
I think the
Anywho.
I'm assuming the
personality-
springs aren't adjustable at all.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think so.
Yeah, in terms of like backdrop, I can tell you from my experience that upgrading to this, which only cost me $40 Australian, the click-through rate for people seeing me in the Mixer list of people who they want to chat to skyrocketed the moment I engaged something more personable rather than just me. So before this stuff, I mean, this is the next level. When I'm in Brisbane, this is a house that I'm in, like one of my husband's house, but in Brisbane I'm in an apartment. Like I travel between the two for work. My apartment's so small that all I can have is a pink wall. So it looks like this, but without the posters and stuff like that. Even that, like the amount of people that started coming to my channel because they felt like, and I asked for feedback, and the reason for that was when they see someone that's investing in content or quality stream, so seeing signs like that, that's a driver for them to want to then click into my stream or other streams. So it made a really big difference showing personality in something different and that's also still professional, rather than just the white wall. I literally had just a white wall behind me, and a ring light to help illuminate my face. So it made a really big difference. I do personally strongly encourage investing in it when you can. And what I've seen Miss Z do really well and other streamers do really well is just if there are certain types of games like scary games or dark games or like, I don't know, what did you call them, Z?
Like story orientated, yeah.
Yeah.
Cutscenes
Then
and
maybe
stuff.
if you have the green screen, then that makes more sense because you want people to be more focused on
you,
on the game. Well, yeah, like, and you don't want to detract from those elements.
If you're starting off from streaming though, and you want to test out a green screen, go to like a fabric shop and buy some green fabric or
Yeah,
something.
just buy a cheap
Because
piece of
green
canvas.
fabric, like the
Pimp
Elgato one,
your
I think is about $250. Like it's not
Yeah.
something you just go and buy if you're not sure if you're on a stream or not. Just go and buy some
Yeah.
fabric to start off with.
Or just paint your wall
Yeah.
green if you're really that into it.
2 meters of
Yeah.
green fabric, pin it to your roof, done.
You can also use I've got cheap piece of green fabric and it's just a curtain rod. I was hanging on hooks behind me when I was using
Oh
it.
yeah.
I think it
option
cost
as
me
well.
like $30 all up to get everything and install it. So it was really easy, cheap way to do it. You just got to make sure it's lit properly, and then it's normally usually pretty good.
Another option, especially if you are space confined, if you do want to go the green screen route, that's a little bit cheaper than an Elgato green screen, is a web around, which is basically a green screen that attaches to your chair. And it's just a circle there. So you just make sure that your camera is only big enough. Like I've obviously got quite a wide field of view, but it just goes like that. And it looks exactly like it's a green screen behind you. And it's just one that attaches to your chair.
Moves with you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They're pretty
That's
pretty
really
cool,
cool.
but again, that kind of limits you to
Restricts you. Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you can only get your chair vision. You
That'd
can't
be great when my
go
cats
like-
run up my chair.
Like I can go like that, and I can poke my the edge of the box here.
Mm.
You can't do that with that one, unfortunately. But that's another option.
So I don't think there were any other questions I missed from my side of the stream. Did anyone else have any pop up in their individual chats? I'm not in co-stream.
No, I can't see anything in
Oh,
it.
someone was asking me if that was a real guitar. It's
To rock
actually
band?
it's Clone Hero. It's for Clone Hero.
Okay.
No, I'm not that talented. I can push buttons. I can't strum strings.
I can't even do that.
Someone said it's a sewing machine. Yeah.
It's a sewing machine.
So-
I think
I was
that's
going to
it.
pull my guitar out, but it's behind 2 gel blasters.
Oh, most hated game. What's
Oh,
everybody's
that's
most
right.
hated game?
Fortnite.
No.
Okay, this is an easy
No,
one. Put
I'm
your hands
lying.
up if you hate Fortnite.
No, I don't
As
hate. I
in-
don't hate Fortnite from a
There we go.
business like
Yeah.
POV. Fortnite has done amazing things for streamers and
Oh,
content
yeah.
creation and eyes on the industry. So I can't say I hate it. I say I don't like it.
I
Yeah.
think
Totally
I don't
dislike.
enjoy
Fortnite
playing
can be a
it.
fun game with friends. You know, if you're playing with friends and just mucking about, talking trash, it's not a bad game to
True.
play.
I
It's
started
super,
it.
super casual.
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
That's
I
just-
started it back up last week just to have the go. And I had a bit of fun. It's one of those games that I'll play for a little bit and then I'll stop playing. But I was actually really surprised. Like, I don't know anything. I don't know any songs by Travis Scott, but I went to that event and it was a lot of fun. It was
That was
actually
so
a lot
much
of
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
I was
so
like-
those sort of things is different. Like that's I
Yeah.
do what they have done with Fortnite has been extremely smart. Like marketing,
Very innovative.
very
And even that-
innovative.
What
Yeah,
they've done
even
in
that
the
ninja
industry
concept
as
that
well.
they had.
You've got to respect
What was
what
the-
they've
so
You've
the,
got to, yeah.
Marshmallow Company.
Putting down the game for
Yeah.
3 days.
They know what they're doing. They're making very smart decisions, and they've
Yeah.
definitely paved the way for a lot of other.
No other
Games.
game or game company does in-game events like they do. Like
Yeah.
I went to the Marshmallow concert, which was one of the first
And it
big
looked
ones,
amazing.
and that was
Yeah.
absolutely
that's
insane
amazing.
at the time. And then
Just-
I went
yeah.
I went to the one there. It was at the end of season 9, which was I don't know, halfway through last year, where they had basically had a robot versus a monster.
Yeah,
and that
That
was
was
fucking insane.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, the stuff that they do, it's obviously admirable, but they've definitely paved the way. I think the biggest and the best marketing stunt they did was shutting down the game for 3 days. They
Yeah.
literally shut it down, and they got
You had
millions of
thousands
views.
people.
Millions of
watching
views.
a
There was
black hole.
literally
So
hundreds of
smart.
thousands people watching.
Wall,
Yeah,
wasn't
watching
And
it?
it took
Black
over
hole.
Twitter too.
Yeah.
It was
So good.
probably
They
the smartest thing they ever did.
deeply understand their audience.
Mm.
Deeply understand their audience. So we have 2 questions that have just popped up. So one is from Clarky. Would everyone in here agree that networking is the best way to grow your stream?
Initially, yes.
Yep.
Networking helps grow your stream, yes.
It's not
Definitely.
the only thing.
Why don't you
If another reason, but all the people that you're networking with, they can give you advice and tips on what you need to improve to be able to grow your stream further. If for another reason, that's a great one.
Good example. What about Gooby? Gooby, before you even streamed, how many followers did you have?
Good question. Like
Like
250
200 or
odd?
something? Yeah.
Yeah. I'd
Oh, yeah,
never
I had-
streamed a day in my fucking life, but I just got around. That sounds really bad, but yeah.
I mean,
You're a stream
whatever
slut.
gets you places, man.
Yeah,
you know?
whatever gets me
Yeah.
places. But I
The
don't
Mixer
know. I
boy.
usually really found I found my real home at Mixer more with the NA community, so more North America, because I met a lot of people through there. And then when obviously, like I said earlier, Shaz came along, that's when I started moving more towards the Australian side. But I still have a very strong connection with that North American side because, of course, Mixer is a multi-continental platform. So yeah.
Now Missy and Lil Debs, I'm not sure if this question from Sandaleco is from either of yours. If one of you want to read that out.
I did see that. So they asked if the money was good with streaming or if we have second jobs. I would say you would struggle to find any Australian streamer on Mixer doing this full-time financially. Yeah, no.
yeah, some kind of thing.
Yeah.
Without some sort of government backup or job. No, it's
Yeah.
you'd need to have thousands of
You'd have to be the top one
subscribers.
percenters. You'd have to be the top one percenters.
Yeah,
top
Tim,
my
Ninja, Shroud, all them.
my rent alone is $355 a week. I don't make that alone. That's not counting all my bills and food shopping and all that sort of stuff. So no, it's not my sole income. And I'd highly doubt anyone who actually was living proper adult life, with a car and a house and repayments, all that stuff, would be doing this full time financially.
Mhm.
No.
I think we delved away from Tan's
It's such a
question
minute
too.
amount that could afford to do it that it's not something you should be looking at until you are discovering that it's actually viable You know, like
Yeah.
And even
have a certain
then, you've
job.
got to ask.
Once you start getting to streaming and you start seeing how much you're earning from streaming over a course of a couple of years, you can see how much it's increasing your earnings. Then you start looking at it going, oh, maybe working 40 hours a week, I can get away with working 25 and put the time back into streaming. But that's something that you need to really work out over a course of months, years, and probably with an accountant.
Biggest mistake I've seen someone make. Someone on Mixer, not going to name names, obviously, during, if you'll remember the free subs phase from about 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
They went and quit their job because they got a absolutely absurd amount of subs, and then ended up.
Sparks. Yeah, everyone did it with Sparks. As well.
Everyone's Sparks was the biggest, like, well, basically fuck off to partners when they got. Yeah, it was free money, and it was millions spent on it, obviously, but. Just don't, once you get like these inflated numbers, especially with like the free subs phase and auto subs and all that, don't expect that to be the norm, because that person got like up to 3,000 subs, I think, from the free subs, and then dropped back down into the hundreds the next month. So
that's rough.
He absolutely got wrecked by it. So don't fall into that false sense of security with that sort of stuff. You always have some sort of way to get money on the side, unless you are those top 1%ers where you make an absolute living off it.
Killing, yeah.
Any money I earn from streaming that goes back into the stream, like upgrading, anything really.
Yeah, from my side,
to giveaways and my community. I do giveaways and whatnot. So anything that I'm actually making per month is a bonus really for my community. I got a full-time job, so I'm not needing embers. I'm not needing a lot of anything. And I don't sit there, and I'm not one of these streamers that go, all right, guys, throw me embers, throw me this. I need this. I need to pay rent this week.
You don't have $5.
Oh my God, yes,
watching.
that fucking video is great.
You're doing watching this stream. Get out.
And you'll never, ever see me beg for embers or donors.
I feel we need someone in a beanbag.
Because I do have a full-time job. And that's what I'm dependent on. The streaming is something I like to do. So anything that I'm earning with my partnership, then that goes back to my community.
Ooh, we have a couple of follow-up questions. I'll quickly add, like, from my side, I'm fortunate. I have a full-time job, and I love my job, and I love creating content. And so what I do is, when the community do donate embers, or when they do donate, like, actually provide donations, it all goes straight back into improving aspects of the stream directly. And so I don't need funds for things like rent or bills or food or, clothes or anything like that. It's all about how can I make my content better for you? And so that's where those funds go. And I also love that I can use my own funds. It's a little harder now because I have a large mortgage coming up, but I can self-fund and make, improvements to the stream on my own side as well. And I love that. I'm not creating content specifically to build a career out of it. For me, success is, can I deliver great content that people find meaningful and enjoy? And if so, that's how I deem myself to be successful, not can I do this full time so that I can quit my full-time job. So I feel very fortunate in that sense. I'm not needing to do that full time. The follow-up question from Guru is, with that said, do you all then stream with the goal of it being to at some point become your career? Or do you mostly do it for fun and community? So I've already answered that question now. Do you all have
fun and community?
Yeah, mine's
just for fun
and community.
Fun and community. I mean,
same.
I can't do a job. Let's just be honest.
I love my job too much.
A lot of you guys are a lot younger than me, but I can't do the job that I'm doing. I can't do the job that I'm doing full time for the rest of my life, seriously, because it is. I'm the only female doing a male job, basically. So this is something that I would like to fall back on, but I'm with a disappearing chair all the time. It's going to be really hard.
It's a fake chair. We all know it's a fake chair. There's no chair.
Just a green screen around a chair.
You look so small in it. Oh wait, that's just. Oh
it's
yeah,
my
that's
throne. Stop it. But yeah, no. Eventually, I dare say this would be something I would fall back on. But until I mean, I've got what am I sitting at now? 20,300 people or community members, followers. No, not even with that amount of followage. You cannot
I don't think I think a lot of people don't understand too. A lot of the big streamers, so Ninja, for example, yes, he probably earns a shit ton from Mixer every month, but a lot of the money he's also earning is from sponsorships. Like he's
Red
got
Bull,
collaborations with
Samsung,
Red Bull and Nike and
Uber
Samsung.
Eats.
Well, Adidas, sorry, not Nike, but yeah, he's got so many collaborations.
And that's coming soon. No, just kidding.
And that he'd be getting a lot more money from those guys, I think. And a lot of the things he like last year, I think it was last year, he did a big Fortnite thing for the New Year's in New York, and he got paid shit tons just to go to that.
Yeah, he got paid by Twitch. Yeah,
like, and Epic Games for showing up, and like, there's all the.
And it's such a minority, guys. That's what I think
th-
people don't realize is like that is the exception. It is not the rule, and it's not the mean. It is the top. We're talking like the oh god, who's a famous actor? Like
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, we're talking about like the
RDJ.
Depps of the world.
Arnold.
In terms of
Arnold.
Izzy, like, I feel like you were going to share a different perspective on your own goal. Did you touch on?
Yeah. So, live streaming for me was really like the platform that I begun my entryway into the industry. So it's for me, like my end goal would absolutely be to be able to have a career or job within the industry. This year before the Rona, I was really going to start looking at branching out into other avenues. So like voice acting, community management. I know a lot of live streamers go into community management with gaming companies. But live streaming, creating content on YouTube, all that is really like an entry point into that. So 100%, I would love to be able to feasibly live off doing something I love every day. I think that anyone would say that quite happily.
Next year we'll be seeing Z on Bluey.
Oh my god, that would be amazing because Bluey is dead set the best show for kids. It is pure like, oh, I can't even. It is amazing. I love it, and I don't even like kids shows, but it's like so wholesome and real, like Aussie family. I love it. I don't know if you guys have watched any of it.
My boss, I don't know what it is.
No idea.
My boss came into work,
and it's amazing.
My boss came to work. He's like, "Oh, I watched this show last night with my kid," and I was like, "Okay." And he's like,
it's so
and
great.
He's telling me about it, and I want to watch it. I was like, "This is awesome!" Like, I don't.
A lot of people are getting roles on it as well. I know if you guys are familiar with Hex, she did a Good Game. Hex did voice acting for Bluey.
Pretty sure Hamish and Andy have too.
Hamish and Andy, there's a ton of like Aussies going into it. But that would be something like, it's called Bluey. People are talking about it all over the world as well.
I think it is an Aussie show. The bloke who writes it is Aussie.
It is. It's 100% Aussie.
Yeah. That's
like
right.
The dad's name's Bandit and the kids are Bingo and Bluey and like they're all blue healers. Like it's Aussie. Yeah.
It's a good show.
But yeah. So I would be lying, and I feel like there's an unnecessary stigma on people that are in this for the intent of making money, because at the end of the day, time does equal money. But like it should be paired with obviously enjoying it, having a safe place for community, all that stuff.
It shouldn't be a number one priority.
No, but it shouldn't also be looked in a negative light.
Yeah,
because I could easily be putting I put a lot of hours into this. I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing to hope for some kind of compensation for that.
Or at least be
Just
upfront.
be realistic.
What your end goal is.
Exactly.
Hey, this is my career. This is something that I'm trying to make basically a primary form of income.
Something from
that is
I try and think of it through a business lens. So from my side, I don't just show up to stream and flick the camera on and go, hey, let's play games. I am specifically come in for a purpose and for a reason. And if 3 years from now, I'm in a place where I've grown my community, my business, my brand to a point where there is enough funds for me to do that full time, even if it's just for a couple of years, I would absolutely take that opportunity. But the reality is, because that is a minority and I am still navigating the landscape, I'm trying to be realistic in terms of I have a job that I love now. It's stable, it's full time, and it's allowing me, I've got a really good balance where I'm still growing still doing things that I love, but I have a vision. I'm not just showing up to a stream and kind of winging it. Like I'm future-proofing it. I'm thinking about it for the longer term. But that longer term is like, a 3 to 5 year game plan, and so much can happen. I mean, a month ago, did we ever think that we'd be in this situation with COVID-19? The world can change so rapidly, but that's what I love about creating content in the online space, is our ability to push forward and still do things.
So much of it is luck. So much of it is luck. You can't deny it. Like the most random shit can go viral like that, and then you're all over the place. You know what I mean?
It's also about capitalizing on that. So like, if something like that happens, you've got to have the smarts to go, all right, I need to, I've got this opportunity. I need to use it as much as I can. Like there are so many people out there. Look at, is it Seti or not? Seti?
Yeah.
On Twitch? Yeah. Blew up, a few months ago, probably a little bit longer. He's been doing really, really well because he was smart about what he did. And seeing stuff like that is really, really cool.
I think we steered away from the question that one of Tan's people asked.
Is that right with you?
Most hated game. Huh?
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, most hated game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, true.
Most hated game.
Sorry.
So Guru asks then, with all of this in mind, if it ever stops being fun or positive, would you be able to just stop?
Yes.
Well, my simple answer to that is if it's not fun, if it's toxic, if it's having a negative impact on you, then you're going to have a negative impact on your community. That will translate immediately. So I've seen a few big streamers who had, like, they were so engaged and passionate and loved being involved with their communities, who hit that 1% mark. And it's now a business, and there are business requirements. They have to log on. They have a 9 to 5 roster and expectations that they have to meet. And you will see sometimes, not always, but you will see when someone's losing that spark because it's changed, you will see that translate into their content, and they will no longer be as enjoyable to be a part of. And that's really challenging, and that becomes, in my opinion, very destructive. So I think a friend of mine mentioned, so there's a Scottish streamer called Ragtag. He's more like not quite as big as who is it? Doctor Who? What's his name?
Disrespect.
Sorry.
Doctor Who.
That's an entirely different character.
Yeah. So
multiple.
It's more like a very big
yeah.
personality, kind of like Ninja, I guess. He's got his own thing, and his earlier videos were just so enjoyable and so fun. Like, he's YouTube more than streaming. He's YouTube focused, and there's just been a totally different, like, over the last few months, where he's now started getting funding and like working with businesses, and there's now expectations, and you have to create content. It's just when that shift becomes, it's no longer fun or a passion for you, because I think you can still be really successful and make money and have partnerships and still really love what you do. But often I do see that that's not the case, and it will absolutely translate into the content and to the audience. And I think if that ever happened for me, I would hope that I'm able to acknowledge that, or that there are people around me who can pull me up and go, hey, like, we're seeing warning signs. And that I would either make changes to turn that around, or I would then go, this is no longer what I love, and make the decision to end. And I would do that for my own sake, and also for the community sake that we're building. You don't want to do that to them.
I've had people in my stream, like what I was saying before, because I work stupid hours and what I do for work, trying to stream, and they can see that I'm burnt out. And they'll message me saying, like, you look like you're about to fall asleep. I'm like, yeah.
Sorry, that's usually me.
Yeah, I've had Mazda, I've had Daz Bad doing it. Yeah, like they don't say wake up. Like, they can.
I have.
When you're streaming differently, like when you burnt out and you're streaming, you can normally tell when someone's not 100% into it, and you can see it in their gameplay, how they're interacting. Something as simple like a couple of weeks ago on a Friday, I think I started at 4 and finished at 7 at night. I came home, jumped on the stream, and I was sitting here and I could see chat moving, and I just wasn't registering that it was moving. Like, I could see it was moving, but I wasn't registering that anything was happening with it. And I think I streamed for like 30 minutes, and I said to Maz, I got to go. I'm going to go to sleep. Like, yeah, I gotta go. I'm just not doing this tonight.
Got to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of our community and provide good content. It's honestly kind of on paper, it really is that black and white. So obviously there's a lot more complexities behind that, but at the end of the day, that is what it is. There was a question that came up a couple of times, and I can't remember the game, but someone was asking multiple times if there was a game we'd consider streaming. It started with D. Sad, was it you?
It's Danganronpa. No, that was a while ago.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's an amazing game. Not going to lie. Danganronpa something. Remember Chase did the voice over. Chase streamed it, and he did the voiceovers.
Yeah.
So
was it that game that like me or them did the voiceovers for, or was it a different one?
I think so, and it has like that crazy bear. Monokuma.
Is it the one with the grandma which I did the voice for?
No.
Oh, that was a different one. Never mind.
No, this one it's really good. There's three. Like there's three games, but the storyline's really long. We only got like halfway in the
It's not a great game to stream, to be totally honest. But
it can be a bit dark.
It's very like visual novel. Like it's
righto.
Yeah, it's not really. It's like an interactive.
Are we talking like
visual...
50 Shades of Grey?
No. It's like about.
I'm interested.
It's like a bunch of
play.
It's a bunch of teenagers that are like slowly murdering each other, and you have to figure out
who the killer is.
Well, that sounds like a riot.
I think you would like it. You would like it, pups. Like,
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dead puppies. And...
Dead teenagers, dead puppies. Same.
No. I'm saying that
did
because I know what you like. I know what you like.
Yeah, I know.
Did it for like 3 weeks, and it's just
but it's long.
Time consuming. It's very time consuming,
and it's all like you have to read out a lot of it too. So it's
reading. No.
It was great.
Reading. Oh, I finished school like 4 months ago. I don't do more.
Try pronouncing their names, Gooby. It's even worse.
Oh, bro, I'm great with names. Hold on, what's the name of it? I'm just gonna like spam my keyboard and it'll fucking come up probably.
It's Danganronpa. Trigger happy. Something.
There it is. Danganronpa. There it is.
Trigger happy.
Would you all consider going back to GTA something?
Roleplay.
RP?
Oh god.
What's that?
No.
Oh god, no.
Did it for a little bit, but
I did it for ages.
I did it. Yeah, I did it for a while. It's not for me. The downtime is what gets to me. When I'm in character, it's fine. But like the downtime was just like, okay, what do I do now? Like it just became a lot of dead air for me.
It's who you are playing with too. Like you need to. So, like Kino, for instance, there's him, Erden. Trav doesn't do it anymore. And a couple of other blokes. They made a gang on the server, and they call themselves Dick Ticklers.
Yeah.
And like that's how they feed off doing stupid shit. Like Kino's one of his big characters now his name is Kyle. And he's the most messed up person you'll ever meet in your life. Like he tells you all about the corns on his feet, and like he's just messed up. But he's a funny character, and he feeds off what other people are saying, and he feeds off saying stupid shit to people, and that turns it into a big scene. So like Z was saying with the downtime, he's always around people and make sure he's always around people so there isn't a downtime in the role play.
You got to be very proactive with it. Otherwise, it just gets boring.
Yeah, I got bored
I
of
can't
it.
do that.
Yeah, I did it with Kino like back in the day when he had first started out streaming on Mixer, and I just got over it in like 2 months. I was like, this is too much. It's like I can't be bothered.
Like I've known Kino since the boys gaming when his name was Chodas.
Yeah,
I remember that. That was
yep. I've known him since then, and I followed him. I stayed on TVG for a bit, then followed him over to OzDodge. Then it turned into Mix, and then they did their other thing with Frenzy, and I just lost interest in roleplay altogether. And stopped doing it. It was fun.
It's time consuming.
It is very time consuming, and you've got to make a character, and you've got to, like, there's one bloke on the server, Mr. White. Everyone knows Mr. White. Yeah, he's made a character that everyone's shit scared of.
Yes.
And you step on his shoes the wrong way. And I'll never ever forget when Z was playing 5M. he was being so nice to her. Like everyone, he was being so nice to her. He hopped out to have a smoke or something out the side of the car, and she hijacked his car.
I still have that clip.
Okay, not where you took my car.
He was probably my favorite part of GTA roleplay. He was such a character, like inside and outside of character, and he still pops into my streams all the time, and he took me on a drive. He was telling me to reach in his pockets and stuff. And anyway,
Lord, what am I listening to right now?
No.
Oh, Georgie, you missed it.
It's so funny.
Hilarious.
It is hilarious. He was
You
right?
You
right,
love?
Yeah, right. You're right. I'm still not convinced he is American. He keeps saying he's American, but he sounds so Australian. It's not funny.
I remember doing that because Gavin used to do it all the time, and so I've always seen Mr. White. And Gav's like, "Yeah, you do it." Okay, I jumped in. Mr. White's like, "Come in my limo, love. We'll go for a drive." I was like shitting myself. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Mr. White, like big ass, like big badass." And I was like,
remember,
"Oh my goodness."
I remember going on Mixer one night, Mixer RP with Keno, and I'm with him and Herbs, and they were pulling the piss big time. And we drove up to White's house, and we just plowed through all of his fences, and he chased us for like a solid hour and a half. Just to shoot us for taking out his fence. It's like, dude.
Don't worry, I wasn't actually taking a step.
We should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
It's 10:40. Jesus Christ.
Shit.
I usually start
way too
streaming
fast.
Apex at like 6:30.
I think maybe
4 hours later.
I think maybe we should have a chat about it again, and maybe allocate, I don't know, some kind of thread, maybe somewhere where people can submit questions, or we can theme night and talk about certain topics. You know, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
I think Shy was massively successful, and I think we learned a lot. Like Z said, I think this was a great experiment and first run, because none of us really knew what was this going to be, what were we going to talk about, would the community get involved if we live streamed. There was a lot of unknowns.
Yeah,
I think that this could be a regular, like, actual web show where we get together, kind of like a live podcast type thing, where there's maybe a specific topic.
Yeah,
as well.
It's like I was in 10.
Maybe,
I was in 10 stream beforehand, and she's like, "Do we need to be prepared? Like, do we like questions?" And I was like, "I don't know."
She should have said yes, and this was
Neither did we.
You know I would have.
Like, yeah, didn't you get?
Oh my god!
Didn't you get the memo? Did you not get
Talk's message?
Did Sharon from marketing not send you the email?
Does anyone
one
have?
of the biggest things I loved about the mix of people we got here is there's such a mix of people that have been here for a really long time, people that are pretty much brand new to the platform. I'm trying to point to you wherever you are probably down there on most of the streams.
Community rather than streamers.
Ones that do more of the community and do more moderating than things in terms of being the partnered streamers. So it's a really good mix of
What was that, Maz?
Wasn't even deliberate. But it's actually played out.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Lord chalking.
I just want to thank all you guys for jumping in. And it was fairly short notice. We only really posted its details sort of midweek.
I completely forgot it was Saturday today, to be honest.
It's Saturday. Oh boy.
What year is this?
Until Whippy's like, "Are you coming?"
It's when Thursday of the 45th of 2037 at this point.
20 Rona.
It's the year 4025.
Year
That's what Whippy was in my channel. He's like,
do we still have our
Zoom
hoverboards?
MDU? I'm like, what? That's time. What time?
What do you mean channel link for Chalk? Oh, sorry, guys. That was awkward. My bad.
What's my channel link?
You just added him.
Yeah.
Push it.
Who's added me?
Push the button, yeah?
No, you can just push that button.
Do you mix it, bro?
If anyone has, I don't know why, but my print screen doesn't work. But if someone can take a screenshot with print screen, if we all just like look at the camera awkwardly for like 3 seconds.
Oh, I can do that natively on my MacBook.
All right. Everyone look at the camera. Get your best side. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Wait, hold on. Yes, there we go.
Okay, go. Someone take it. I think we're good. I think we're good.
Wait, did anyone actually
One of those
print
photos
screen?
is
Did
gonna
anyone
be
do
okay.
it?
Did
Did
that?
anyone do it?
I didn't
Did
do
anyone
it.
get it?
Yeah, I
do
got
it?
it. I got it.
Who did it?
Alright.
Who did it?
Got it.
Oh.
Oh, I got it.
Got it.
Okay.
I was trying not to rock my chair so it wouldn't
Let me-
disappear.
let me-
That is the worst thing I've ever seen, Goose. That was horrendous.
Mate, I look like I shouldn't be within like 100 feet of a school. It's all right.
Oh shit! You know what happened to a guy that made a joke like that not long ago?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
Lucky you're not a
Bye.
streamer, pal.
It's all right. I'll just
Someone
go
just
get
got
partnered
cancelled.
tomorrow and get it taken away. It's all good.
I like how we
Cla-
just posted something.
Clarky, though I'm going to throw you under the bus, fam. Clarky, why didn't you join us tonight?
Ooh.
Oh, Clark.
Yeah.
Did we say something about calling out lurkers earlier?
No.
He put it in,
No,
put emoji in chat.
Clarky is not lurking. Clarky is chatting in chat, hence not lurking.
We had
Yeah.
Tactics Hazy in here before as well, who's
Ooh.
quite a seasoned Aussie streamer. But yeah, an epic
We'll get him
treasure.
next
I
time.
think we'll get him in on next time.
We'll get him next time, Judgment.
Okay.
We'll get him next time.
We'll get him next time.
Everyone do a quick plug, like who's going on to now do your actual stream. So I think if Missy's not too tired, we're going to go and do some duos.
Yeah,
Of
we'll be
Apex?
playing. We'll play a couple games before we head off.
Anyone else going?
I'm going off.
Okay,
Oh,
Poppy,
Whippy.
you still streaming?
I'll stream tomorrow.
Whippy.
I'll stream tomorrow.
He
I'm
won't.
playing something. I just
I
don't know
think-
what that is yet.
Georgie
Might be Gen
and-
Zero.
So you were playing
I don't know.
Uncharted the other
Just
night,
go-
were you?
I am.
follow these people.
I've done the first two, but I needed a break.
Yeah,
And
fair
because it
enough.
means bringing the PlayStation downstairs and setting it up every stream, so I just don't need PlayStation
Yeah.
because it's a fucking nightmare to set up. I needed a break from just all that.
You're gonna play
so-
with this kit.
Not Apex.
Oh!
It gives, no, it gives me motion
If you want to do
sickness.
trios, I'll come play.
Fun fact, I'm actually updating my Apex as we speak.
I uninstalled
I have it
a week
downloaded,
ago.
but I haven't.
Only a
played
40
it.
gig update.
Wait, who said they were going to come play?
I'll come play if you guys don't want to do duos. I'll come play Apex. Yeah, it would be mean to do it for ages.
Done.
Yeah.
Let's
All
get
right,
it
So,
done.
Set up.
Yeah, bro.
All right, well, I'm going to send Z the host, so because we're in the co-stream, so I'll just do co-stream and give you the host.
Thanks, Ted.
Bye,
I haven't seen you in
everyone.
ages. So
Bye.
Nice to meet you guys.
guys.
Bye.
That's a wrap. Cut.